3 years, the conference championship is not on the line when the Ducks face the Beavers, but that won't drop the intensity of the oldest college football rivalry west of the Mississippi. The 106 Civil War, identical records, similar seasons, but those are the only things these teams have in common. The Beavers' swagger against the Ducks' cool, engineered by the men in charge. There is no love lost, and not a team they want to beat more. It's Oregon State. How civil is this war? We'll find out next. It's a sold-out Reser Stadium, 37,000 strong, to see the 106th Civil War. The Oregon Ducks at 7-4 against the Oregon State Beavers, an identical 7-4 record, hooking up in Corvallis. Hi, everyone. Joe John Sandy along with Anthony Newman. Anthony, we talk about Oregon State, you talk about Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson is the man. He's saying right now he is the best running back in the state. We'll find out today.
Yeah, Steven Jackson, you see the numbers here for Steven Jackson, leading the conference in rushing by a wide margin. He also has a chance today to become Oregon State's single-season rushing leader. Of course, now for the Oregon Ducks on the other side, it's a difficult proposition because you're without your main man, Ontario Smith.
Well, when you go into a football game, and a game like today, and not have your best guy out there, Ontario Smith, you may have some problems. And Ontario Smith, I know he's dying, wishing he could be in this game today.
Terrence Whitehead, Ryan Shaw are going to have to pick up the slack that Ontario Smith will leave. So not being in this game with the injury, he should be back for the bowl game. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's Dodge. Northwest Dodge dealers' keys to the game, Anthony: ball control.
Well, the offense has to control the football, keep the ball in their hands, and put some points on the in the game. Big plays on defense, just like against Washington State. The defense has to help the offense out. No penalties. Penalties hurt Oregon in the past. They can't have them today.
Penalties will be a big issue in this game as they try to do it. It's Oregon and Oregon State, the 106th Civil War game, coming up right after this on the Oregon Sports Network. Today's game is brought to you by Emporium, your family department store where shopping never felt better. Carl's Jr. For big, juicy, charbroiled burgers, the name of the game is Carl's Jr. Uleno Credit Union. Discover the Uleno difference and get connected today. Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. Weimar, proud to be part of the Northwest and to be Northwest owned and operated. American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Northwest Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can take life by the horns. Dodge. U.S. Bank, where 5-star service is guaranteed. State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Bud Light, where the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And welcome back to Reser Stadium as the Beavers make their way onto the Reser Stadium turf. Anthony, big game coming up between these two teams, and home team has won the game the last 5 times these two teams have gotten together.
Well, you got that home crowd advantage, and it's nice to have when you play your Civil War game at home.
Of course, the Ducks coming from their locker room way up in the Gill Coliseum basement, basically. Anthony, you spent some time in that basement. It's not a friendly place, but what are your feelings, the emotions as you walk down with a moderate day here today for the Civil War? What's your feelings as you walk down that ramp ready to come in the stadium?
You're just ready to play. There's a lot of fans that don't like you. There's a long walk. You're coming from a basement that has a bunch of rats at the bottom of it. You know, that's the visiting team's locker room, but you're ready to go. You're hyped up. You know everybody's against you, and it's just your team out there to play.
Of course, the fans at Oregon State for the last few years filling their stadium. These two teams have had a great history. The 106th meeting, Oregon has the advantage. Last meeting was last year in Eugene when Keenan Howry returned to punt late in that game, started the 4th quarter, and Oregon held on for a 17-14 win. The last win in Corvallis, 1996, for Mike Bellotti and his team. So we're about ready to get going here at Reser Stadium, and we talked a lot about emotion, and Dennis Erickson, certainly in his 4th season as the head coach at Oregon State, he knows how to get his team emotional and ready to play.
Well, Dennis Erickson's been around for a long time. He's been in Miami, he's been in Seattle. He knows how to get his team ready to play in a game like today.
And, of course, on the other side, Mike Bellotti, in his 8th season as the head coach at Oregon, record of 67-27 on the year, in his career, Anthony, and it's been a great career. He's got a pretty good record against the Beavers, only lost 2 games to Oregon State, and
A lot of talk this week about Oregon being flat in the last game, Anthony. I know you were around the team this week. What about emotion and trying to match that emotion the Beavers will have?
Well, Mike Bellotti told his team, hey, this is the last game we play. It's the last game that a lot of seniors will play. And we have to fight that emotion. We have to get up. We're going to be in hostile territory, and we got to play 100% for 4 quarters of football to win this game.
Of course, these rivalries around the country, Oregon and Oregon State, 105. The interesting thing about that is Oregon is the longest west of the Mississippi. You see the Texas A&M in there, right. Nebraska, Kansas, because Oregon missed a bunch of years in there where the other teams didn't miss. So it goes all the way back to 1894, and there's some brave Oregon fans in Reser Stadium for the football game today. It's not a friendly place for the visiting team's fans, as when the game's held in Eugene. It's not a very friendly place for the Beaver fans.
No, and when you score for Oregon State, the Oregon Ducks will hear that. I mean, and that's a thing it's tough to overcome because it gets so loud. There's only maybe 40,000 fans in that stadium, but it sounds like it's 60 or 70 in Reser Stadium because those fans are really behind Oregon State.
And they're all wearing orange. And they got the old flip-floppers. What do you call those things, Anthony?
I call them balloon poppers.
Balloon poppers? Apparently,
balloon clappers.
They needed to make a little more noise for this football game, and the Oregon State fans, this is anything but civil. I guess this year, Anthony, with the teams being at 7-4, the emotions have been less, it seems, this week, that there hasn't been as much talk about the rivalry this week.
Well, I think also it's a lot of respect. There's some respect. Both teams are 7-4, and they respect each other. The team that wins this game can say, hey, we're the best team in the state. So I don't think the fans or the players don't want to say anything that the other team's going to use against them.
There's a lot of bowl ramifications for this football game as well, Anthony, that we'll get to talk about during the course of the game. But Oregon State still has a chance to maybe get to the Sun Bowl, depending on what happens. Maybe get to the Insight Bowl in Phoenix, where you get to play a good opponent. The other end of it, Anthony, you might be going to the Silicon Valley Classic playing San Jose State. Neither one of these teams wants to do that.
It's funny that, us fans and the media talk about the bowl games for the next game, and it's funny that Mike Bellotti, he told his guys, don't worry about bowl games. Civil War is a game that we have to win, and the bowl games will take care of itself. These guys right now, both Oregon and Oregon State, are thinking about each other.
So there's a delay on the kickoff, apparently, because of Oregon State's senior ceremony, and it did not allow Oregon to get on the field when they normally would, so they're giving Oregon a few extra minutes to warm up on the sidelines. But as we saw last week with the Ducks, got to get those seniors out there and get them their due.
Oh, the last game of the year, the last game that these guys will ever play again, maybe 98% will never play football again. And you have to give them their due. You have to make it go out happy and enjoy this last game.
So Oregon will receive. Allen Amundsen is back. And Ryan Seska, who has been replaced as the field goal kicker for the Beavers, still doing the kickoff duties. The senior was a former All-Pac-10 kicker, but now he's reduced to doing kickoffs, and the 106th Civil War is underway. The kick is deep and into the end zone, and Amundsen will take a knee there, and Oregon will start from the 20-yard line. And you can see there's the trash talk coming out right at the beginning of the football game.
Well, Joe, this is excuse me, I got the chills going down my back on this game because I know how exciting this game is. I mean, the kickoff just happened. The kids got butterflies. They're nervous. They're hyped up. Right now, they're probably the most tired they'll be in the whole game because they've been so hyper yelling, trying to get going. I mean, it's a lot of excitement on this field right now.
Jason Fife, 54%. Remember earlier in the year, he was second in the country in pass efficiency and has cooled off since then. Oregon comes out with Terrence Whitehead in the backfield. Howery goes in motion, and Whitehead will take it up the middle. He'll fall forward for a couple of yards, call it the 22-yard line. And once again, we've got extracurricular activity after the play.
Well, there's going to be a lot of that. They're going to get after it all game.
For Oregon, Whitehead and Floberg, Reister, Parker, and Howery on the outside for the Duck offense. Howery, of course, the senior. Snyder, Stites, Weaver, Forster, Corey Chambers getting a start at right tackle today. Big number 75 from Tustin, California. And here come the Ducks on 2nd and 8 from the 22-yard line. And Fife goes back to throw. Little screen pass to the outside, and there is nowhere to go for Ryan Shaw. He is dropped for a 2-yard loss, and teams have really figured out that screen pass so far for that Oregon's been running. Take a look at the defense. A very good one. Noah Happy from Simi Valley, California. Eric Manning, the other good linebacker. Barnett, Siegler, and Tuma are the linebackers, very good linebackers for the Beavers. Roberts, Turner, Carlisle, Weathersby. Some think it's the best secondary in the Pac-10 Conference.
You know, Joe, you talked about that screen pass that Oregon's run, and they haven't been successful in that in the last 3 or 4 games, so they may need to change that coming up this game.
3rd and 12 now. That's Howry in motion. And Fife's going to go back to throw. Beavers bring 4. Coverage breaks down, and Fife gets rid of it. It's caught. Looks like Reister fell on the ball and maybe knocked his wind out. It's a gain of 7, but it will be 4th down for Oregon. They're going to have a look at Reister. And, Anthony, if this is a serious injury, that is a gigantic loss for Oregon.
No, I think right here, you know, Fife, you see, did a great job getting out of the pocket, avoiding the rush. And I think George just fell on the ball. You know, when you fall on that ball, you know, that will knock the wind out of you. And I think he just got the wind knocked out of him because I saw his mouthpiece come out of his mouth. So that's usually a sign of getting the wind knocked out of you, and that hurts, believe me.
So the Beavers force the 3 and out. And Jose Arroyo will be back to punt the football. And that is not what Oregon wanted. They get the pass completion there to Reister, but that would have been something they would have liked to have on 1st down, Anthony.
Oh, yeah, and you know, this game, Joe, is going to come down to field position right now.
And Arroyo's punt's kind of a low wobbler, and it's taken and to the outside, and good coverage by the Ducks. And the Beavers will start from there. Pretty good field position for Oregon State. And we have our first break of the football game. 0-0. Beavers shut the Ducks down. We're back right after this. Welcome back, everyone. Oregon State tied at 0. 12:56 to go in the first quarter. And the Beavers did their job on defense, and now the offense has their chance. Derek Anderson, Anthony, up and down this year.
Well, he's a quarterback that has great potential, but he's young, and that's the problem. He's only a sophomore. He will get better, and he will be one of the best in the Pac-10 in about a year or 2.
So here come the Beavers starting from the 37-yard line. And Anderson's going to go back to throw it on 1st down, looking over the middle, and it is almost intercepted by Aaron Gibson, who is in the football game today after missing a couple of games with an ankle injury.
Well, it's nice to have Aaron Gibson back in the game. Marcus Benz did a great job, but Aaron Gibson is he's a player that's played a little bit more than Marcus Benz, so it was a nice job by Gibson. Jackson
Ewis, Kenny Farley, Sean Kittner, and James Newson is the dangerous player for Oregon State. He scores on that deep post a lot of times. Kuykendall, Losi, Brock, Sanchez, Ninas are the offensive linemen. They've had injuries there all season long. 2nd down, 10 now for Oregon State. Jackson up the middle, and he is hauled down across the 40 to the 41-yard line. And Igor Olshansky hauls him down. For the Ducks defense, Seth McEwen, Halote Nada played very well this year. Igor Olshansky and Darrell Wright at the end. Moretti, Mitchell, and Martin. Garrett Graham is out of the game with a pinched nerve in his ankle. Stephen Moore, Rasuli Webster, Keith Lewis, and Aaron Gibson in the secondary for the Ducks. 3rd down, 7 now for the Beavers. Anderson wants to throw it. Looks deep. He's got a man. Newsom, he's got the catch. Newsom down to the 35-yard line, and he points the 1st down. Big play by James Newsom, and the Oregon State Beavers are threatening.
Newsom is a big-time playmaker, I tell you that. And it was a nice throw here by Derek Anderson to lead Newsom. The ball was thrown away from the defender. Gibson was there in coverage, but you can't make that play because the ball is thrown over the receiver's head. Nice play by Oregon State.
So Anderson, a lot of it can ride, Anthony, on how Anderson plays in this game. He's capable of having great games, but he's also capable of 5 interceptions like he had at Washington.
Right.
He has played better at home, though. Ducks show an interesting defensive line, and now there's some movement, and a flag goes down, and that's likely going to be on the Beaver offense as they back it up.
Dead ball, ball start on the offense. 5-yard. Still 1st down.
Joe, a lot of time that happens when that offensive line is trying to get advantage, trying to get set because it's a pass. He knows it's a pass, and he knows that defensive lineman across from him he got his foot geared in the ground, ready to get after it. So those linemen get a little edgy.
First and 15 for Oregon State. Now back to the 41. Here comes the blitz. Steven Jackson tries to take it outside. Ducks do a good job in pursuit. And Keith Lewis is there along with Seth McEwen and a few other Ducks.
You know, Oregon's had a hard time on the corners when offensive teams been running the ball. You see there, Joe, they're hyped up, they're ready to go. But you see, they're trying to attack the corner here, and Webster did a great job of stringing this ball out, buying time for the defense to get there. That's what you have to do. You have to either contain it. If you can't contain it, string it out and buy time for your defenders to make a play.
Keith Lewis holding Steven Jackson's head like it's a football.
A little aggression going on there.
Sure, he'd like to get his hands on the football at some point. 2nd and 13 now for Oregon State, just inside the 40-yard line. Play action. Anderson rolls, looks downfield, and he's got his man at the 25-yard line. Sean Kittner with the catch. And it will set up a 3rd and short for Oregon State.
But Joe, what I'm seeing is the protection from the Oregon State's offensive line is doing a great job of protecting Derek Anderson. Derek's standing back there. If he's untouched, this man is dangerous. Now, if he puts some pressure on him, then he can throw interceptions like he has in the past.
Kittner comes out of the football game, and they will give him the first down just past the marker. So, pretty good spot for the Beavers, and they'll have a first down now at the 26-yard line. Hand the ball off. Jackson hit immediately. Igor Olshansky is there, and we talked earlier, Anthony, about stopping the run and how to get that done. When Oregon's had to stop the run, they've done a pretty good job, as it is again. After every play, we've got a little bit of extra, but Igor Olshansky, Haloti Nada, well-equipped to stop the run between the tackles.
Well, against Oregon State, you got to stop the run. And right here, you see Webster comes up and forces the ball, makes Steven Jackson, goes back inside. And when you go back inside, that's where you have your help. Now, Oregon knows they have to stop the run, but also Oregon State, they don't start out fast in the running game until maybe the 3rd and 4th quarter.
2nd and 10 now after no gain for Derek Anderson. Play action, going to the end zone. It's up there. It's over the head of James Newsom and incomplete. Stephen Moore on the coverage, running stride for stride with Newsom.
Joe, you see that Oregon State's not holding back on throwing any bombs down the field. I mean, they're trying to take advantage of the young corners. Stephen Moore there did a great job in coverage, running stride for stride with Newsom. Again, Newsom is a playmaker. You get him loose, he's going to be dangerous.
So 3rd and 8 for the Beavers. Big play coming up here early in this football game. Anderson's out of the shotgun. Ducks showing the blitz. Here they come. Pressure coming. Anderson gets rid of it, and it is over the top of his tight end and incomplete to Tim Ewis, and Oregon State will have to attempt the field goal. Kurt Yilanimi will come in to try the attempt.
Joe, and that's what Oregon has to do. They have to put pressure on Anderson, because when Anderson feels pressure, then his throws are not very accurate. When this man stands in the pocket and he has all day to throw, he will hurt you. But right there, Oregon put some pressure on the man, and he overthrew him.
Yilanimi has 12, make it 13 straight field goals for Oregon State. He set a new Oregon State record last week in the game at Stanford. This one from the hash, and it is on its way, and it is through, and Oregon State has the first lead in this football game. Yilanimi puts it through after the Beavers stopped Oregon 3 and out, and just like last year, Oregon State has the lead, 3-0. The Ducks get the chance with the ball when we come back to Reitzer. Everyone, Oregon State on the board, 3-0 over the Oregon Ducks here at Reitzer Stadium. Anthony, that was a field position deal right there. 3 points because of the field position.
And the defense did a nice job to hold him to 3 points.
Fife back to throw. He's hit. Still gets rid of it. It's almost intercepted and incomplete. There's a flag down on the play. Have to see what they say. Crowd doesn't like it. So the initial indication is that it would be a pass interference on Oregon State or a defensive holding. Let's go ahead and see what the guys are going to figure out.
Well, you know, this game's going to come down to penalties, Joe, and the fewer penalties that you have, you should come out on top. Penalties will hurt you in a game like this.
Maybe a roughing the passer, or maybe he's going to pick his flag up. Let's hear.
Roughing the passer on the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Now, I didn't really see a roughing the passer call because Jason was still trying to throw the ball, but, you know, they try to protect these quarterbacks. These referees are hard on the defense if you get around the quarterback. And you see Jason here, he avoids it. He's getting ready to throw the first time, and then right there they call that. It's a little nudge, but it's it's a little touchy.
Well, in a game like this, a rivalry game like this, you can pretty much throw a flag every time.
Yes, you're right.
If you're going to do that. On the reverse, nowhere to go. Little face mask. Willis dropped. No flag came out, though. And it'll be a loss for Oregon.
With this Oregon State defense, Joe, I tell you, I haven't seen team speed like this in a long time. And these guys, I thought USC's defense was fast. These guys fly all over the ball. I mean, you got 4 or 5 guys in the picture, you know, chasing a receiver. I mean, that's defensive linemen, linebackers running with the receiver. And then you got 8 guys, you know, at the end of the tackle. That's team speed and everybody getting to the football.
Noah Happy on the tackle. Sophomore, be around a lot more, very emotional player. Oregon spreads it out, and they'll run the ball. Whitehead with a block. Tries to break the tackle. They'll fall forward for about 4 yards. Turner on the stop, along with Nick Barnett and Siegler. And wish we had a tape recorder down there, Anthony. I'm sure we're getting the whole book.
Yeah, they're saying a whole lot of good things, you know. And how's your mom? And you know, hope you have a good Christmas and all those types of things.
Is that what they're saying about the mom? Is that it?
Yeah. You know, Richard Siegler, he's an excellent linebacker. He's going to be back for another year. I think he'll be one of the top linebackers in the nation next year.
3rd and 10 now for the Ducks as they get the yards back that they lost. Obvious passing down. Howry's in motion. And he goes back to throw. Pressure, he's going to go down. And right now, Oregon is just not in sync. There's a flag down, but I think that's going to be on the Oregon offense for illegal motion before the play.
You know, we talked about the line of scrimmage, or Mike Bellotti talked about the line of scrimmage and how it's important in this game. That's against Oregon, Joe. But right now, the offensive line for Oregon is not protecting Jason Fife very well. He's getting a lot of pressure, and he can't get rid of the football.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down, with a timer set the clock at 7 minutes, 47 seconds.
Well, the good part about that, Anthony, is Oregon gets another play because it happened before that. And Jason Fife, it seems that the pressure's coming. I know there's good coverage, but he doesn't have a lot of time to throw right now.
No, he doesn't have a lot of time to throw. And some of the routes that they're running may take a long time, but the receiver's got to find a way to get open, and Jason has to get the ball to him. Right now, Jason doesn't have a whole lot of time to get the ball, and I don't see Oregon State really blitzing. They're not sending extra guys. The defensive line for Oregon State is just getting home, getting to the quarterback.
There's more discussion going on. There's been more discussion in this game than a political debate.
Yeah, you're trying to get the edge, Joe. You want that edge. You have to find an edge to win this football game. And if you can sit there and talk to the referees and put your hand around the shoulder, you know, you might have that edge.
Okay, 3rd and 15 now. And again, we stop the play as the referees don't like something on the field. And I think the fans just want to see some football here, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, the referees, this is a Civil War game, so they're trying to keep control and make sure everything is right. And that's why you see all these discussions going on.
All right, so he winds it. We're ready to go with that 3rd and 15 play. And Anthony, this is a big play for Oregon because everybody knows they're going to pass. They've got to complete something. They've got to do something, give Jason Fife time.
Well, they've got to get the ball downfield and try to get the first down. And the offensive line needs to protect him so he can get rid of the football.
Beavers show the blitz. And they go off the sides. There's there's the flag. We thought that they might not throw the flag, but the flag came in late, and it's going to be an offsides on Oregon State. So the Ducks will get the 5 yards back, and I don't know, Anthony. This first quarter has not been pretty by any stretch.
Yeah, you get some, you know, you get some sloppy football in the first quarter in a game like the Civil War because there's so much emotion in this game. There's so much feelings in this game that guys stop thinking because they're trying so hard.
Another look at it. Just cannot get back across.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And when the referees throw that flag like that, they got to really stop that play because Jason, you know, could have got hurt on that play. It's a free play, but they got to, you know, look out for the quarterback when he's throwing the football. They also have to look out when they throw a flag, and if they're blowing the whistle, stop the play.
Yeah, Jason took a knee and then he got up and started running.
Yeah.
So he probably shouldn't have done that either. Crowd bringing down the noise. 3rd and 10. Ducks need a big play here at midfield. Fife back to throw. Good protection over the middle. And looking for Reister. And the flag comes out, and he'll probably get a defensive holding, and that'll give Oregon a first down, Anthony.
Well, as a defensive back, you got your hands full when you're trying to cover George Reister. He's a 250-pound tight end that's a little bit nasty and a little bit mean. He knows how to run routes. And
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty, previous spot. Automatic first down.
Another look at it. Had that.
That was a little close. I mean, I'm a defensive guy, Joe, and I'm always leaning towards the defense. And right there, that's tight. But the referee, he may be behind the play. He couldn't see that. All he saw was an arm around George Reister.
You try to hide that left arm around there in the gut?
You try to hide it. You try to put it somewhere where the referee's not going to see it. If he sees it, he'll call it.
Ducks now inside Oregon State territory. Fife on the option. Cuts it up, still on his feet. And out at the 30-yard line. So a pretty good gain on the option after Fife got kind of a deep start on the short side play. Good blocking for the Ducks.
Well, Oregon's doing a nice job of keeping their poise right now. And you see a lot of times in the previous games, they've been struggling a little bit keeping their poise. Here, Jason does a great job of knowing that, hey, the guy is covered on the pitch. I'm going to take the football. I know I'm going to get pounded because these guys are after me right now, but I'm going to do it for the team.
Took a big hit from Lawrence Turner. 2nd down 4 now after the 6-yard gain on first down as Howie goes in motion. Whitehead with room. Slips a little, but falls forward to the 22-yard line. And Oregon trying to settle things down here at Reser Stadium.
Well, what you got to do is you got to match the team. If Oregon State scores, Oregon needs a score. And right here they're running a simple tackle play, off tackle. And Terrence Whitehead is a great running back. He knows where the field is. He knows where the players are, how to use the cutback lanes. And he's only a freshman, Joe.
And this turf is, you can see as you look at the guy's feet, there's a lot of moisture down there. You can see the moisture on the field. This is not exactly the greatest turf in the world. It's pretty slippery out there.
No, not at all.
It's very similar to what Oregon has in their indoor facility. Fife goes back to throw. Plenty of time. Over the middle and gets it to Howie, who takes it to the sideline. Stretches it out to try and get the first down. We'll have to see where the spot is. But Keenan Howie comes up about a yard short of the first down, and Ducks are looking good now, diversified on offense, Anthony.
Well, they're spreading the ball around, and that's when Oregon plays well, is they spread the ball around. And what this play is Keenan comes across the field, and a linebacker, Tuma, Eric, is trying to take a receiver. And that's a mismatch. You can't have a linebacker trying to cover a receiver running across the football field.
So good recognition for Jason Fife and good protection as well.
Yes.
As we go to the short yardage situation, and the Ducks get the yard available for the first down. Terrence Whitehead. And the Ducks are threatening with 5:52 to go here in the first quarter. Anthony, we've seen Oregon start games very well offensively. They've got it scripted, and well, now they're going to spot it back at the 11-yard line. So now they're going to take a look at it. I think from our vantage point, it looks a little short.
It does look a little short.
He must have said his knee came down earlier than that. Kind of a surprising spot, Anthony.
Yeah, if you're in this situation, though, if it's only inches, it's hard to, I may go for it.
Well, they're going to get the first down anyway.
First down, so you don't have to make that call. At least I don't.
Oregon with their 4th first down of the football game on a very good time-consuming drive. The Beaver defense has been out there for a while now.
Joe, we talked about, this game and how Oregon State's been playing the last couple of games and how their defense is so tough. But in the Civil War, you never know what's going to happen. You see Oregon, a struggling offense, driving down the field on the #1 team defense in the Pac-10.
First and 10 from the 11-yard line. Howie in motion. Fife, play action, pressure. Gets it outside to Floberg, breaks a tackle to the 5. And where he goes out of bounds there will be 2nd and 4 from the 5-yard line. A good catch, good concentration by Matt Floberg.
Well, that was 2 good plays by the quarterback and the fullback, Matt. Jason did a great job of getting rid of the football, and Matt did a great job of catching on to it. He bobbled a little bit, but he stayed in a concentration mode and held on to it.
Big pressure from Noah Happy.
Oh, and he had to get rid of it. And again, that was behind Matt. Matt did a great job of holding on to it and gaining an extra 3 or 4 yards.
Where Oregon State certainly makes you pay for carrying the football. They are a hard-hitting team.
Joe, they fly around. I'm telling you, they have some team speed on that defense.
Second down 4. Howie again in motion. Fife to throw, looking, he's got a man open, and Fulbert cannot hold on to it on second down. Those are the kinds of plays that can come back to haunt you.
Joe, I call those missed opportunities. I mean, that ball was right in his hand, and if anybody in the stadium knows that he messed up, it's Matt. Matt knows that, hey, I should have caught this football. It was a nice throw by Jason, a little bit low. No, that was right in the money right there. That should have been caught by Matt. And what that's going to do to Matt is going to make him make a play next time. Sometimes those plays like that say, hey, okay, give me the ball again, I'll make a play, or I'm going to make a block right here.
Ball is coming pretty hot, too, so it's a tough one to handle. 3rd and 4, big play. Fife wants to throw, looks to the end zone, can't get it into Reister. It'll be 4th down.
Well, I didn't know if George just dropped that football or wasn't really ready for the football to come to him. Or the defender made a great play by getting the ball out.
Plenty of protection on this drive for Fife. He had time to look at it.
A little pump fake to George, and basically that was just a nice play by the defender by knocking the ball out.
So Oregon with 2 opportunities to get in the end zone, and they did not get it, so Jared Siegel, apologize for that counter on there. Jared Siegel in for the field goal try, and the kick is up and through, and we are tied as Jared Siegel stops a consecutive streak of missing 2 in a row after making 15 in a row earlier on in the year. So Oregon ties it up after the good drive. We are 3-3 here at Research.
Start a banking relationship with U.S. Bank, and we'll do everything but roll out the red carpet. Stop by a nearby U.S. Bank now and sign up for free checking with checking that pays and earn cash back every time you use your check card. See a friendly U.S. banker for details. Pay your bills online with U.S. Bank, and we'll do everything but teach you how to type. Stop by U.S. Bank now and sign up for free internet banking. Plus, take advantage of internet bill pay free during your first 60 days.
Hey! That thing got a Hemi? Yeah. Sweet.
The all-new Dodge Ram Heavy Duty.
Did you mean the Charger? Because, you know, that's got a Hemi, too.
Now with a 345 horsepower, 5.7-liter Hemi Magnum. Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty plus $1,000 cash allowance. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it.
I am Blue, a product of 2, son of Berry, daughter of Cola, altogether different but not altogether the same. I am Blue, a fusion, no confusion. Berry is the star, Cola gets second billing. It's for anyone, but it's not for everyone. It's time for change. Tick tock, times have changed. Tick tock, drink to that. Yeah, drink to that.
Pepsi Blue, a fusion of berries with a splash of cola. Pepsi Blue, it's a blue thing.
Back to Research Stadium. Oregon with a big drive there, Anthony. Carl's Jr. scoring drive, 10 plays, 62 yards, 359. And the offensive line did a heck of a job on that drive.
Well, you know, the Oregon fans wish they would have scored a touchdown, but there's 2 positives on that series where Oregon's offense moved the ball well on a tough defense, and they got 3 points out of it, so they tied the game.
Jared Siegel with the field goal from a tough angle. One of the finalists for the Lou Groza Award. One of 3 finalists. He'll make his trip to Florida for a big banquet, and he deserves it. Just a sophomore for Oregon. So the Ducks still looking for touchdowns. They've had a little trouble getting some touchdowns. The kick is very high and very short, taking it about the 13-yard line, and some room to the outside. Calvin Carlisle gives the Beavers great field position.
Well, you know this game's going to come down to field position, and who has the better field position to give an offense a chance to score.
Flag down. Looks like it might be a late hit on the Ducks, Anthony, as we take another look at it.
Well, Oregon's been doing great in the last few games on kickoffs and kickoff returns. And here, they let Oregon State returner get back.
After the play, personal foul on the defense, 15-yard penalty into the run, first down.
Yeah, and then you get a late hit. And again, late hits, those are personal fouls that you cannot have. You have to be smarter than that.
So the Beavers have great field position to start this off. And you see one of the reasons these teams have had the years they've had, right there. A lot of penalties this year, Anthony.
You cannot win by shooting yourself in the foot. You got to give yourself a chance.
Beavers start in Oregon territory. They had great field position all game. Realize it's just the second possession, but they've had great field position. They go to Steven Jackson, and Igor Olshansky is there for the stop.
The defensive line did a great job on that last play by stopping Steven Jackson. And Steven Jackson is a threat. He's like an Ontario Smith to Oregon State. You know, he's a man who can find the hole and get busy. But I tell you what, Oregon's been known to stop the run. And now I think they're going to do a good job of stopping or trying to contain Steven Jackson. They can't let Steven Jackson break off a long one.
There's a look at Halote Nada. Big, strong man. 6'5", 320 as Anderson goes to the air. Now a little pressure and a good move by Newsom. 30 down to the 20. It's hit by Webster and taken out there. That was a broken play, and another flag comes in for a late hit, which flag came in awful late.
Yeah, that did come in awful late. Newsom was still in bounds. I don't know if they threw a flag on the late hit on that one, but I'll tell you, on that play, Newsom did a great job being on the same page here as Anderson. It was basic hitch. They knew it didn't work, so let's go to hitch and go.
Incidental face mask on the defense, 5-yard penalty into the run, yardage ends in a first down.
Offensive face mask, Joe.
Little push in the face there, so it'll move it back 5 yards, but still a first down for the Beavers. And right now, James Newsom is everything for Oregon State, as the Ducks have done a good job on Steven Jackson. First down, they go back to Jackson, tries to break it outside, has some room, 10, 5, touchdown Oregon State, Steven Jackson.
Like I said earlier, Steven Jackson, you get the ball in his hands, he's dangerous, and it's hard for one person to try to bring down Steven Jackson. It takes about 2 or 3 guys to bring him down. He's a big man, he's 6'2", about 220, 215, so as a defensive back, you need some help trying to bring this man down. Here was a nice inside play. Steven did a great job of cutting back, finding that end zone, getting to the corner, has enough speed to outrun the defense.
A lot of times you might only get one chance at him. Ducks had that chance. And Steven Jackson just too big and strong, and he gets into the end zone. And Anthony, again, it all starts with field position. When you start with that short field, it's almost impossible not to get points.
You're putting your defense at a serious disadvantage when you're starting like that.
So Oregon State just quickly answering the Oregon drive, the methodical Oregon drive, and Oregon trails it now 10-3 here at Reser Stadium. Another look at it, Anthony.
Well, it was a basic, I think it's a design play to cut back on his own. Goes up the middle like he's getting to the inside, cuts back against the grain, and it's his time to, to run away from maybe 1 or 2 linebackers and a defensive back. There's only 10 yards to go for the end zone. Steven has enough speed to get to pay dirt.
Little pose, and some congratulations from his teammates. Jackson now with 25 yards on 5 carries. And until that point, Anthony, he had been shut down completely.
Well, realistically, Oregon still has done a great job of controlling him in this first quarter. But as you see, there's Ken Simonton on the sideline enjoying Steven Jackson's success.
There with the television microphone in his hands.
If you try to contain Steven Jackson all game, you can do that, but he breaks the long ones, and the long ones will hurt a team's back. He'll break a 60, a 40, a 70-yarder, which he's done in the past, and that's how Steven Jackson gets his yards.
Kickoff is short, taking it about the 9-yard line, and looks like Favreau gets it out to the 22-yard line, where Oregon will start from there. Make it Justin Finnessy on the return, and Justin Finnessy getting a little action on the return team lately. I know he wants to get in there on in the defensive secondary.
Oh, yeah, he's a hitter, and he wants to play some defense, but right now he'll do anything he can do to help this team win. If that's returning kicks, he'll do it.
Ducks playing from behind in the first quarter for the first time in a long time. They were behind at Washington State quickly, but they answered immediately. And Beavers with 2 great field position starts and able to convert on both opportunities. Now here comes Oregon again. Whitehead looking for some room and finds a little bit out to the 24-yard line.
The Oregon State defense did a great job of messing that running play up. But then again, you look at Terrence Whitehead, looked like he was going to get tackled for a minute, have a tackle for a loss, end up getting 3 or 4 yards out of it. Sign of a good running back.
Happy getting over there for the tackle. Oregon State has been tough when they've had a lead this year. Defense has been able to protect it, and they've had pretty much every advantage in the game so far when it comes to field position. Fife, plenty of room, goes deep and throws it a mile high and way out of bounds. And I think maybe it just kind of slipped out of his hand, Anthony.
Yeah, I think that one might have slipped. He was doing that pump fake to Sammy Parker, and he tried to air it out and make sure that Parker's going to run to the football. And I think that just floated from his hand and took off and went out of bounds.
Well, the Ducks feel like they have an advantage there with Parker's speed against some of the defenders. Roberts for Oregon State. But gotta have to maybe get rid of it a little quicker and let Sammy get to it.
Right.
3rd and 8 now for Oregon. Trying to get out of the end of their own end zone. Fife's gonna roll. Pressure by Happy. Jason steps up and tries to get the ball outside to Howie, but it is incomplete, and Oregon will have to punt the football.
You know, Joe, it sounds like we're beating a dead horse when it comes to field position. Oregon's still really backed up. When they punt this ball here, Oregon State is going to have a great opportunity to have great field position and maybe score again.
So Oregon desperately needing a good punt here, going with a little bit of wind to their backs, actually, as the wind kind of blows out of the north. Arroyo, big rush, gets it away, and it's a giant punt all the way back to the 24-yard line, taken from there, and Ducks with good pursuit all the way back to the 25, and tell you what, Hughes in there on the tackle. Great coverage by the Ducks on a very good punt by Jose Arroyo.
The special teams of the Ducks have been playing hard all year, and that, you know, that's because of the special team coach, Robin Ross. He's done a great job with the special teams.
So when Oregon needed it big time, they get it from Jose Arroyo. And Derek Anderson will now have to see what it's like to start from deep in his own end. From the 25-yard line. Anderson will throw again to the outside. A lot of cushion. Newsom the catch. And right now, Oregon does not have an answer for James Newsom. And all year long, there have been receivers that have been able to have big days against the Ducks, Anthony.
Yeah, they have. And, you know, they find a weak spot in Oregon's defense and they'll try to exploit it. But, you know, Stephen Moore, that's not a weak spot in the defense. That was just a nice throw and catch. Stephen Moore did a great job of coming up and making the tackle. But, you know, Newsom is going to get his catches. He's a premier receiver in the league. He can do some things, and he's dangerous.
Second down, 3 now for Oregon State. Anderson the shotgun. They'll try to run it out of the shotgun, and Steven Jackson won't get much there as he falls forward for about 1.5 yards. Going to bring up a third and about half a yard.
Well, now it's up to this Oregon defense right here. They have some pressure on them, but they need to stop. They need to get off the field. They need to get their offense back on the field.
Ducks switching a man up there on in the front. You see Igor's out there, but Robbie Valenzuela as well. Third and less than 1 yard. Gonna hand it off to Jackson. He gets to the line and forward for the first down for a gain of about 3. First down for Oregon State.
When you have 3rd and 1, it's tough to stop Oregon State when you got a running back like Steven Jackson, because he's going to get 2 or 3 yards on his own. I mean, without any blockers. You can give him the football, you know, he's going to have that forward lean to gain 2 yards. Right there, 3rd and 1, Simple play, straight dive to number 34.
Beavers with a new set of downs now out to the 38-yard line. Anderson looking to throw, and he misses his receiver. Cole Clayson cannot find him, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. They have not really dropped Anderson back deep. He's pretty much the quick drops. You don't want to give Oregon a chance to get a lot of pressure on him.
Well, yeah, exactly right. They don't want him to have pressure on him trying to find out where to throw the football because he makes a lot of mistakes when he has pressure. On that last play, Oregon sent a few guys trying to put pressure on him, and that's why that ball was thrown in front of the receiver. If you put pressure on Anderson, he has some problems.
2nd down, 10. Beavers quick to the line. And they'll hand it off to Jackson. Good blocking up the middle. And he still on his feet. Tough to bring down. Right there on that orange and black Beaver. Call it a gain of 6 yards. And it'll bring up another 3rd down for Oregon State.
And I'll say again, Joe, Steven Jackson is a big running back. I mean, for a college running back, 6'2", 220, and only a sophomore, that's a big young man. I mean, and he's running the football with some serious speed. He's hard to bring down.
Rodriguez Wright is in the football game now. Big number 97. 3rd and 2, we'll call it. Anderson's going to throw. Quick drop again. Throws it to Newsom, and he cannot hold on to it. And then he gets hit by Keith Lewis. And then he comes back to him. And I got to say, surprising that there's no flag on that play. Guess they're going to give Lewis the benefit of the doubt.
Well, it's a nice play. This one, Newsom should have caught the football just out of his hands. Right, it would have been a great catch if he had caught it. But the play was clearly over. Keith came over, giving a little bit of nudge, ended up sending him to the ground. And I understand why Newsom's mad. He's like, hey, the play was over. I got knocked down. You should throw the flag.
Just a little love tap.
Just a little love tap. But, it's funny because usually in games like this, the referees want to control the game, so they'll throw a flag like that.
So Oregon, got to say, Anthony, pretty fortunate right there to not get the flag. The huge punt by Toby is going to get into the end zone. It'll be a net, which will have the 20 yards taken away from the punt yardage, and Oregon will start from their 20-yard line, which in that situation, probably the best they can hope for.
Yeah, they came out okay on that one. Starting out the 20, getting their offense back on the field, and start that engine up again and drive down the field like they did a couple series ago.
Confidence-wise, Anthony, that's the first time that they've stopped Oregon State so far in this game. Beavers had scored on their first 2 possessions, as Dennis Erickson still unhappy about the call, rightfully so. But confidence-wise, defensively, what to do for Oregon?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, to stop Oregon State is moving the football on you. That's what you have to do to win this game.
14 seconds to go here in the quarter. Fife's going to throw it, and the whistles are out. And now some late stuff, and this is a little payback maybe for what happened a little while ago. As Dan Weaver wants a little word with the Oregon State defender. I guess they're saying what goes around comes around. Dwan Edwards in there to cause some trouble.
Well, they were throwing the flag before the play started, so they're trying to get it stopped. And, sometimes it's hard to hear that with those whistles when you got those helmets on, so.
Penalties,
Oregon, yeah.
Movement on Oregon takes it back to the 15-yard line. Oregon's offense has been a little disjointed, Anthony. What needs to happen for them?
Well, I think they need to try to establish that running game, in which they have, give it to Terrence Whitehead. But when you don't have Ontario Smith in the ball game, I mean, you have your best player out of the game, it hurts you. It really does. And they love to give the ball to Ontario Smith. Terrence Whitehead needs to take over. But right now, they're in a situation they have to pass to get out of this hole.
They'll run this one. It's Shaw, breaks it to the outside. Across the 30. Shaw with a stiff arm to the 35-yard line. And there is a big, big play for Ryan Shaw.
Get the running game going, Joe. No matter what you're doing, you try to get that running game going, establish the running game because it helps the pass. Ryan Shaw is a great running back. It's an off-tackle play. He finds the hole, puts a nice move on the hole to get outside and gains about 30 yards.
Great block by Nick Stites, taking on a safety and locking him up. And it's a first down for the Oregon Ducks. Big first down when they were backed up on their own 15-yard line. Shaw from Carlsbad, California, just a sophomore. Gonna give it back to him, let him try the other side. Gets the corner, puts his head down for about 4.5 yards. Tackle made by Jason Jacobs, and that is the end of the first quarter. Anthony, Oregon holding their own so far.
Yeah, it's going to be a game. It's going to take them all 4 quarters to win this game.
Ducks and Beavers going at it. Beavers have it right now, 10-3. The Ducks have the ball. We're back to Reeser after this. Here we go, start of the second quarter. Oregon State with the lead. Oregon comes out with Shaw again to the outside. Call it a gain of about 3, and third down coming up. As these guys not wasting any time going after it.
Well, what they've done in the last 3 or 4 plays is run the football, Oregon. Oregon has decided, hey, we're going to run this football.
Flag down.
I think a personal flag against Oregon.
And a personal foul on Oregon. We didn't see it, not sure what it is.
Joe, I think it was an offensive lineman landing, trying to block a defensive back, and he just pancaked him.
After the play, personal foul on the offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, still second down.
And coaches like to call those drive killers because you lose the down, you're 15 yards back, and now it's second and very long.
And right there, you know, those personal fouls, when you make those calls, you know, those are questionable because the lineman's trying to make a block.
That's the makeup call, maybe, that... Does that happen, Anthony? You played a lot of football. You get the makeup calls?
Well, the referees say there's no makeup calls, but I believe there are. I know there are.
So Oregon way backed up now. It'll be second and 18 when they finally get back up to the line of scrimmage. And I think... Oregon State was wondering when the penalty happened, hoping to get the down, too. Jason 5-4 of 8, 20 yards, and his last 4 have not been complete. And it is third down. So Oregon State's argument was correct in that situation. The penalty came after the play was over. Third and 18, a drive-killing penalty. If Oregon can make up for it, it would be huge. Fife tipped, incomplete, and they'll have to punt the ball. Penalties kill you.
They do. And then you got a team like Oregon State's playing great on defense.
So the Ducks will have to punt the football. And another look at this one. Jason looking over the middle.
Barnett does a great job of jumping up. He's a linebacker. His responsibility is to drop back in that zone. He did a great job of jumping up, knocking the ball down.
You can see Howery had a big play, but he didn't get his mid up there. So Arroyo now needing to get another big punt off for Oregon. Comes the pressure from the outside, and another big punt by Jose Arroyo. Very high, back to the 22-yard line, and down goes the Beavers right there at the 20-yard line. That's where they'll start. So Jose Arroyo coming up big for the Ducks right now.
Joe, that's our special teams playing good on special teams. That will keep them in the ball game. Oregon.
Justin Finney with the stop there. Here, Sam Orange.
Intensity, and after Oregon's first ever meeting between the Oregon Webfoots and the Aggies.
Go back through the years and look at the old pictures from the Civil War at Hayward Field, Anthony, when they played it at Hayward Field. Hayward Field still looks like that.
Yes, sure does.
Teams don't look like that anymore. Anderson looking deep, trying to get Newsom, and that's the play that they've run very successfully. The last 4 weeks, they've scored a touchdown on that play every game, the last 4 games, and Oregon had him double covered that time.
Yeah, and they're smart. They're trying to take advantage of that secondary, throwing the ball deep. But, again, you got 2 guys back there, you know, Keith Lewis and Stephen Moore that were playing on that side with Newsom, that they can cover anybody in the Pac-10. And so they're not going to complete anything back there with those 2 guys back there.
Second down, 10 for the Beavers. Anderson's going to hand the ball off. Jackson looking for some room as he tries to pick his way, and then he's hit by Kevin Mitchell after a gain of about 4. And it'll be 3rd down and 6 for Oregon State.
We're getting back into that field position deal again with Oregon stopping Oregon State. If you have to punt the ball, you got a punt returner, Keenan Howery, that once that ball is in his hands, he can take it back for 6 anywhere on the field. So right now, this play is key for both teams, for the offense and for the defense.
Jackson's a Doak Walker Award finalist, having a tremendous year, the Pac-10's leading rusher, on his way to breaking Oregon State's single-season rushing record. Anderson to the outside, man wide open. Where will they spot it? You see the referee walking in. Will he walk straight? Will he walk crooked? He sets the ball down with his left foot. It's very close to the 1st down. Very close. Pretty good spot, Anthony.
Yeah, that was a good spot. That's going to be close. I think he might have that one.
Newsom thinks he's got it. And he does. Wow. How about that? Big play there.
And that was caused by Newsom knowing where the 1st down marker was, Joe, and getting to that spot before he turned around and got his mark where he's going to catch the football. He knew, hey, I got to get to the 10-yard marker to catch this ball, okay, for it to be a 1st down. And he did that.
So the Beavers are the new set of downs on a very, very generous spot. Anderson now looking to throw. Tried to go over the top, and almost a tremendous catch by Sean Kittner as he tried to jump over the back of Stephen Moore, but could not come up with it.
Yes, Sean tried to make a spectacular play. It was a nice coverage by Stephen Moore. Derek threw a nice ball here, make him come back and get the ball, have a chance to get the football, just dropped it. And as you can see, Stephen Moore had inside positions, is what you want, but a good receiver, just like Sean did, came over the top and tried to make the play. Just missed it.
Oregon State controlling this one so far. 2nd down and 10. Ducks showing some sort of blitz. Now they'll drop off into cover. Still gets a little bit of pressure as they go back to Jackson. He's got a lot of room. 50, needs a block. 40, 30, 20, cuts back. 10, 5, touchdown Oregon State. On a broken play.
Well, you know, that's a man number 34, Steven Jackson, doing everything in his power to win this game. And right there, taking the ball, catching the football, and running over 50 yards for a touchdown. Excellent play.
Anderson goes back to him. When I say broken, I'm talking about missed tackle and then some coverage that's not there. And he gets the block and goes all the way for the touchdown, 69 yards, and the Ducks are in trouble.
Well, sometimes you wonder on a play like that, it had to be a missed responsibility.
Levy's kick is up and good, 17-3. Maybe it wasn't so much of a responsibility thing or a scheme thing, it just missed tackle.
Missed tackle. And once you miss tackle, he's on his way.
Jackson to the end zone, Beavers in command. Welcome back, everyone. Oregon State up 17-3. Gonna look at it.
Well, this is a throwback to Steven Jackson, and a linebacker, David Martin, was on him. Right there, you got to make the tackle. But like I said, Steven Jackson, he will make you miss. One guy can't tackle Steven Jackson. It's hard to do. That's why you got to get some extra guys there to help out.
Kickoff will be taken at the 10-yard line by Finney. Across the 25, 30, still on his feet. 40, has a chance. 50, does he have the speed? There's a flag down. 30, and taken out the 20 by his face mask.
I think that flag, Joe, is against Oregon State for being offsides.
Justin Finney with a big play. Let's see what we've got. Offsides on Oregon State. That will be declined. I guess there is no penalty on the hog-tied takedown.
on the kicking team. Penalties decline. First down.
You know, again, we talk about that special teams, and special teams is important. And I think if special teams show up like Oregon's special team is showing up today, they'll win this game. He does a great job of breaking the tackle here, getting some extra room to get extra yards. It's a great job. I thought he had enough speed to break it, but just short.
I'm not sure how that can't be a face mask.
That's a hard tight tackle right there.
Maybe the referee just couldn't get down there fast enough, and Oregon going to the air. Fife rolling out. Look it. Gets it to Filburn for pretty much nothing. Ducks desperately need a touchdown here.
Yeah, you know, in that last play, Joe, they're trying to get Jason out on the corner to avoid the rush and give him some room. But again, there's nowhere for him to throw the ball down the field because Oregon State's defenders are so fast.
Barnett leading the Pac-10 in tackles, very active linebacker. Second down and 10. Oregon sprinting it out. Looking to the screen, is tipped. Fife catches his own pass. Now he's going to try and get some yards, and he runs out of bounds. Can't throw it again because he already caught it.
Yeah, you can't throw it again.
Not much you can do there, except maybe put your head down and get a few more yards.
That's all he could do. Looked like it was screened to one way, and then it come back. It was going to be an inside screen to the receiver. The ball was batted. You're right. Jason has to run with this football. He's live game now.
And now after starting at the 20-yard line, they're borderline field goal range.
Yep.
Back out to the 33-yard line where it would be a 50-yard try. Third down. Fife's going to throw it. He was rushing 4. He steps up, looking over the middle, and the flag comes out. It'll be an automatic first down.
Without a doubt, that was a flag. The ball wasn't there yet. And the defender got hog-tied.
Calvin Carlisle on the coverage.
This was a simple post pattern by Keenan Howery, trying to make something happen, going for the touchdown. And you can't put your hands on the receiver when the ball's in the air.
Hard to know if he'd have made the catch or not.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty, previous spot, automatic first down.
And you're right about that, Joe. Sometimes they'll say, well, that ball wasn't catchable. But by where the referee is standing to make that call, sometimes he can't tell if that ball was catchable or not.
So a big penalty on the Beavers, and it gives Oregon new life, really, as they get the first down. And they're kind of right back where they were when Tennessee took the kickoff back. They get this kind of a do-over. Don't get do-over very often in college football. Howery goes in motion, and there's all kinds of movement on the line of scrimmage again. And, boy, we have got some penalties in this football game. That's the 11th penalty combined in this football game.
They talk about, hey, if we're going to have some penalties.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
If you're going to have some penalties, Joe, have them, you know, in the first 3 series of the game. After that, you got to wipe them out because they will hurt you. Right now, we're going into the second quarter. We're in the second quarter, and you can't have them. You have to have control, and you got to use your head and think about, okay, what's the count on? What's my route? And what's my responsibility?
So first and 15 now. That's just going to hand it off. And not much doing there for Allen Amundsen as he falls forward for a yard. As Amundsen gets in the football game to get a couple carries, a senior. His last Pac-10 conference football game.
Well, that's nice. That's a nice threesome carrying the football. Allen, Terrence Whitehead, and Shaw. You're getting the guys rested to come in fresh.
Second down, 12 now. Willis goes in motion. Out on the screen, and they get it out there, but the Beavers have that figured out. And at this point, the Ducks may just want to put the screen playbook in the closet for a little while. Has not worked.
Yeah, they keep trying to do the screen, and sometimes you want to keep doing the screen because you think, I can break it, it will work. But right here, I think the screen is hard against Oregon State because they're so fast on the corners. And that tackle was made by a corner. He's coming up. He read the screen. He came up and made the tackle.
Been a very successful play for Oregon throughout their history. Fife now on third down, looking deep, throwing, and gets his arm hit, and the ball falls to the turf. And after the great field position, the Ducks cannot get into the end zone.
Well, that pass rush is really getting to Jason Fife. I mean, they're sending some guys from the inside, from the outside. Jason here is trying to do a pump fake. And you see Richards trying to come up through the line and scrim with the linebacker. Jason does a pump fake, but there's not enough time for him to bring it back down and recock that ball and throw it. There's no time for Jason.
Jared Siegel comes in. 44-yard kick. It's heavy right, and it's no good. And things are going from bad to worse for the Ducks. They start at the 20-yard line, and they get nothing out of it, and the Beavers get the ball back ahead 17-3.
We still got to look at this, Joe. There's a lot of time left in this game, and this game really just started. This ball just kind of just floated to the left. It never came back to it. It never came back on the kick. It just kept going straight from the angle that he kicked the ball from.
Kind of chunked it a little bit, and the Beavers will take over.
What Oregon has to do is stay in control here. Can't let this game get out of hand. Right now, it's going to be pressure on the defense of the Ducks to stop Oregon State so they get the offense back on the field.
And Dwight Wright gets in the football game to give Steven Jackson a little break. Jackson with 112 total yards so far. 69 receiving and 43 rushing. He's got 2 touchdowns already, so he deserves a rest.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's the workhorse for the Oregon State's offense, and give him a couple plays to catch his breath, and they'll get right back in there.
People have wondered about the Northwest resurgence in college football, and it really stems from players. You know, why in the world would USC or UCLA not go after Steven Jackson? Yeah. And he ends up landing at Oregon State, and he's one of the main reasons it's a good football team.
Well, without a doubt, you look at both schools, Oregon and Oregon State, getting some of the top athletes from Southern California. And it's a change of the trend of where the top athletes are going from Southern Cal. They're coming up to the Northwest.
Pelote Nada, on the other hand, was highly recruited by everybody, and he just chose the Ducks. So it wasn't a factor of somebody falling in their hands, but a player like Kevin Mitchell overlooked because they didn't think he was big enough.
Right. But you can't measure somebody's heart, Joe, and that's what they didn't. They didn't take in a factor that his heart is so big that he can play like an all-star linebacker.
Third down and 6. The Beavers are going to use a timeout. Talk about the play, a little confusion on offense. And so we will take a break here at Research Stadium. The Ducks trying to hang on here. Down 17-3. We're back after this.
Don't mess with Dodge Ram, Durango, and Dakota. Part of the most powerful, longest-lasting line of trucks. Get 0% financing or $1,500 cash allowance on Ram 1500, plus Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty.
There's no doubt about it. Your life is full speed ahead. So when it comes to looking your best, Emporium is with you every step of the way. With exclusive brands like Relativity and Studio Works for women and Consensus Sportswear for men. You're always up to speed with the latest styles. Fashion made simple. A refreshing concept you'll find exclusively at Emporium.
Right. Tomorrow sounds perfect. I'll talk to you then. I have an important meeting I'm taking off to.
In schools big and small, State Farm is there with fire safety presentations.
Talk about fire safety. You tell me what this is, man. We live where you live.
Being there to help keep kids safe. That's what being a good neighbor is all about.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
But did you look back through the years? Len Casanova, these two teams have had it. Of course, Tommy Prothro when he was at Oregon State. And these two teams have had some great battles. As I mentioned, back to 1894 was the first game. And I think Oregon's first or second win in the rivalry was in 1899 when they also beat the Chemawa Indians and Ashland Normal. So the competition level has gone up.
A little different.
No the leather helmets here today. It's just the hard-hitting kind. Pressure coming. Anderson gets rid of it out to Jackson, and he's knocked out of bounds by Keith Lewis, and Oregon State's going to have to punt the football. Good play by Oregon defensively, getting some pressure on Anderson.
And that was a great play by Oregon. And Oregon State, you know, what they did is come back to Steven Jackson again and say, hey, get us out of this hole, try to get us a first down. But Oregon answered with the Keith Lewis. Keith Lewis made the play.
As you mentioned, Anthony, plenty of time. I mean, there's a lot of time in this football game. As quick as Oregon can score, you can take care of it. But Jason Fife right now with 2 yards passing.
They're struggling a little bit, Joe. I mean, they're trying to find that niche. Jason's trying to find the right player. The coaching staff is trying to find the right personnel. But there's so much time left.
Toby's punt will come down about the 35. Howery makes a move and is cut down there at the 37-yard line. So good field position for the Ducks to start this drive. Siegler in on the tackle.
And that's Richard coming down on the punt team, making a great play. Now, when you're playing a big game like this, you got to put your best players out there on special teams. And that's what Oregon State did, and they make plays.
Howery, of course, last year was the one that turned the game around for Oregon as they trailed the entire way until that first play of the fourth quarter when it came down. And, boy, was it raining then?
Oh, it was coming down, Joe. The rain was sideways. It was coming down sideways.
And Oregon winning that football game and going on to the Fiesta Bowl, the greatest season in Oregon history, 11-1, finishing number 2 in the nation. And this year they've fallen back some and trying to recover here and come back against the Beavers, try to get a Civil War victory. Kind of a microcosm of their season right here.
Yeah, it is. And then you look at the Beavers, Joe. They started out slow, really slow, and they really turned the season around and came back and fought, and now they're 7-4. So both teams started out going in different directions. Yeah. Now they came back and they're equal.
Beavers lost their first 3 Pac-10 games and then won 3 of the final 4. It'll be the 26-yard line where Oregon will start. And Amundsen tries to go to the short side, and there's just no running room. Another flag comes down. So flag off the punt. Now another flag comes down on the first play.
I think that's going to be against Oregon. When it comes from that back judge, it's usually against the offense.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty, previous spot.
Joe, you know, we talk about penalties, and I know Mike Bellotti, that's all he talks about to his team is, hey, guys, you know, you cannot beat yourself with penalties. And right now, you can see the frustration on his face that, you know, his team is being hurt by penalties.
Back to the 16-yard line now. Ducks continue to go backwards. Fife's going to throw it. Good protection as he steps up and he goes deep. And Keenan Howery has it to 30. Howery to the 20. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Keenan Howery, a huge play for the Ducks. And they're back in this football game. The penalty is offsides on Oregon State. The touchdown will stand.
Offside on the defense. Penalties declined.
Well, that shows you how fast Oregon can strike anywhere on the field. Backed up in their own 10-yard line, you throw a bomb like that. Jason Fife did a great throw to Keenan Howery. And like I said earlier, when Keenan Howery has the ball in his hands, he's a dangerous man and he's a threat.
And the Ducks desperately needed life, Anthony, and they get it from a big-time player who makes big plays in big games.
Yes. I mean, it was almost like a punt, Joe, because if it would have been intercepted, they would say, hey, it's like a punt. But Keenan Howery, he's going up for football. I think he knew he wanted that ball and took it.
Extra point is up and through, and Oregon is back in the football game, trailing at 17-10. We're back to Reeser. Keenan Howery with the big touchdown right after this.
Worth, the show that lets you in on the hidden value of sports memorabilia. Host Andrea Joyce and a team of experts hear the exciting stories behind prized sports memorabilia and answer the question, what's it worth? Only on Yes. Get all the action on the ice with NHL Cool Shots, now on Yes. It's the weekly pro hockey show featuring the explosive shots, big hits, and great saves, plus profiles of different NHL stars each week. NHL Cool Shots, now on the Yes Network, the home of champions.
Keenan Howery, the 84-yard touchdown catch, getting the Ducks back in the football game. Another look, Anthony.
He had his man beat, and he did a great job of catching the football. Sometimes those balls are hard to catch, and when you're running full speed, Keenan comes up with the big play.
Walks into the end zone, and the Carl's Jr. scoring drive. One play, it's 74 yards because they had the penalty there. Took them 28 seconds. Scoring drive brought to you by our good friends at Carl's Jr.
Those big plays like that hurt you as a defense. At Oregon State, they know they don't give up big plays normally, but also Oregon, they make big plays. So that's why this game is a battle, Joe. There's going to be a battle like that for 4 quarters.
And you had the feeling right there that the game was on the verge of going one way or the other. That, you know, if Oregon State could have converted there and put them down 3 touchdowns, it would have been a long day for Oregon.
Exactly. The Oregon defense came up big when they stopped Oregon State on that 3rd down. Put the offense back on the field. The offense made a big play.
Jared Siegel will kick it off, and he'll angle it to the far side, very high, and bobble a little bit at the 8, and then take him down there. Good coverage by Sam Hughes. Making Allen Amundsen on the coverage there with Stephen Clayton. It's Allen Amundsen getting a chance to be on the kickoff team.
Well, you know, he's a senior, and he wants to be, there's another flag, Joe. He's a senior. He wants to do everything in his power to win this game. He's telling the coaches, hey, put me anywhere.
So let's see what the penalty is.
Encroachment on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
A problem the Ducks have had all year long. And boy, that really hurt because you got them backed up to the 14-yard line, and now you got to kick it again, huh?
Yeah.
9 penalties for 75 yards.
And it's still only midway into the 2nd quarter. You know, I know Mike Bellatti's going to go into halftime telling these young men, hey, we have to stop these penalties. We cannot win this football game if we keep having penalties. You know, on that kickoff team, you know, those young men need to know, Joe, that they have to watch the kicker. You have to time it up, and especially the last game of the season, you've been doing it all year, so the timing should be down. But again, in a game in the Civil War, you're so excited. You know, you want to make a play as a young player. A lot of these are young players out there. They want to make a play, and they get off sides. They get a little bit too anxious.
Siegel this time will approach and just try to drill it. And the kick will go take Carlisle back to his goal line where his back foot hits, and he'll come out and looking for some room. Has a little bit across the 25 to the 27-yard line. So considering everything, it worked out pretty well for both teams.
Yeah, it did. They come back, you know, to the 22. So basically here, the offense is starting out, okay field position. The defense, they have some room to work with, speaking for the Oregon's defense.
Carlisle, very good student at Oregon State. Ken Simonson is there to greet everybody as they come off the sideline.
And you know, Ken, he wishes that he could put a uniform on and get out there and try to help his Oregon State Beavers win this football game.
So 1st and 10 for Oregon State at the 27-yard line. Farley goes in motion, and Jackson's going to take it to the outside. That's trying to string it out. Moretti is there and holds on. And not a lot of room for Steven Jackson. No gain on the play.
In the last couple of games, the weakness was the Oregon's running game. When the opponent ran to the corner or to the outside against Oregon's defense, they were getting outside. On this play right here was a simple toss. Steven Jackson tries to get outside, but Oregon did a great job of stringing the play out, trying to contain that ball, and allowing defenders to get to Steven Jackson. Because, again, you need 3 or 4 guys trying to bring Steven Jackson down.
2nd down, 10. Anderson's going to throw, looking deep, and throws it too far for James Newsom. And then Newsom gives Little love tap himself.
Well, that love tap was for because Marty Tucker was probably in his ear talking to him, and that's what you do as a defender. You talk to those receivers. As you're running down the field after the play was over, you get in their ears and get them frustrated at you, because when they're frustrated at you as a defender, they're not thinking about their routes or catching the football.
Lots of love on the field today.
Those are lots of love.
3rd down, 10. Anderson back in the shotgun. Big play. See if the Ducks can get a chance to get the ball back here before halftime. Showing a blitz. And now the whistle blows. And it's a delay of game on the Beavers. They'll back it up 5 more yards. And maybe that's just a young quarterback not getting his team out there and ready to go.
Yeah, and that happened to him a couple games before in that game against Arizona State when they lost. He didn't know the clock. You have to know the clock as a quarterback. You know, there's a lot of things you got to know as a quarterback, and that's why all the pressure is on the quarterback, but you have to know that clock, that play clock. If that thing is counting down, you have to call a timeout, call the timeout.
Beavers sent 3 receivers to the right, and let's see if Oregon wants to pressure Anderson. Here they come. Everybody's coming. Anderson goes down back at the 7-yard line. David Moretti there for the stop, and along with Kevin Mitchell. And that's what you talked about, Anthony.
Putting pressure on the quarterback, and without a doubt, you send Kevin Mitchell and David Moretti to the quarterback, they are going to get home. I mean, these guys, they know how to play football, great linebackers. And looking at that picture, Joe, looked like everybody could have got home. I mean, there was defensive linemen back there also.
Rod Wright in there. And the Duck defense comes up big, and Oregon State will punt out of their own end zone. Toby back to punt, and it's a high kick, not real deep, and Howery will take it at the 50. Up the middle, 40, still going, and down to the 36-yard line. So great field position for the Ducks after the punt. Have a chance to get right back in this one. Momentum has changed here at Reeser.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Sierra Mist. One shockingly refreshing lemon lime.
Good dog.
Also available in diet. The same shockingly refreshing taste with 0 calories.
Bi-Mart's latest membership bulletin is full of great savings on the brand names you know and trust. Make cleaning easy with quality vacuums from Hoover. The Steam Vac Deluxe is perfect for deep cleaning. It features variable speeds and spin scrub technology. It's just $199.99. Or get the Hoover Wide Path Bagless Vacuum. It has allergen filtration and a 15-inch cleaning path. Right now it's only $129.99 at Bi-Mart. Clean up on the savings. Sale prices end November 27th at your Northwest neighborhood Bi-Mart.
Don't mess with Dodge Ram, Durango, and Dakota. Part of the most powerful, longest-lasting line of trucks. Get 0% financing or $1,500 cash allowance on Ram 1500, plus Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty.
I see everyone that they started the game before they were supposed to. There's a man on the field with a red hat, and they were not supposed to start that play, and they did. Teams are anxious, so we apologize to you for not holding them up. Bottom line, Oregon deep into Oregon State territory again. Down to the 18-yard line. Ducks shift around, and Matt Floberg is in the backfield. Parker in motion. Fife's going to roll it. Goes back across to a lineman. Puts his head down, and the trick play doesn't really go anywhere. Robin Nebel tries to make something happen.
Well,
how about that?
Hey, that's a new one, Joe. I've never seen that one. I mean, you're pulling everything out of the book right here. And I tell you what, as a defensive back, I would hate to go up and tackle an offensive lineman with the football in his hands. I mean, all the receivers and everybody's on to one side of the field, so you're trying to figure out who they're going to throw it back to, and it's an offensive lineman. Richard Siegler did a great job of going to tackle the guy, but that's a headache right there. You're tackling a guy that's weighing about 300 pounds.
Robin Niebel from Roseburg, Oregon, his first college catch, and he takes it to the 16-yard line, 2nd down and 8. That's an odd 2 yards, and Ducks go to the pitch. Amundsen outside. Does he have speed? 15, head down, and falls forward. And a late hit by Barnett is not flagged, but Amundsen will take it down close to the 10-yard line, where it will be 3rd and 4. So Ducks trying to pull out all the stops here.
They're trying to do everything, and this is crucial right here. 3rd and 4, you need a touchdown here. Field goal is going to help you, but touchdowns, you'll win games.
Big play coming up. Oregon a little delayed getting the play in. As they come to the line, 3rd, and we'll call it 3. Big play, crowd making lots of noise. Ducks with 2 tight ends. On the option, Fife keeps it. 5-2, touchdown, Jason Fife.
Joe, Jason Fife made that play on his own. He really did. And I tell you what, you got to give a lot of credit to that Oregon offense by driving that football down after great field position by Keenan Howery to take it down on tough defense and score.
And just like that, the Ducks 2 quick touchdowns, and they're an extra point away from tying this football game.
Here's just a straight option play, and Jason decides to keep it on his own. And right here, he breaks the tackles. He breaks 2 tackles and gets in the end zone. Great play by Jason Fife.
The extra point is up and good, and we are tied in the Civil War. What else would you expect? Oregon 2 quick touchdowns. Jason Fife, the 11-yard run, and Oregon has all the momentum in this one right now.
Again, we see this as an option route. He's trying to just get about 3 or 4 yards. Hey, Jason goes, you know what? I think I can score. And he drags a player into the end zone. Touchdown. Great play by Jason Fife. And the offensive line has done a great job in this last series of creating some holes for the running backs and protecting Jason when he's throwing the football.
That's the yearly total for Jason, 68 carries for 164, his 3rd rushing touchdown. And that was a huge drive for Oregon. And again, Anthony, great field position, points. Just almost every time, that's what it equals.
That's what it comes down to, and that came down to special teams. And I think it started before special teams when Jason Fife, when Keenan Howery had the punt return, but also the defense stopped Oregon State on that 3rd and 4.
Yeah, it changed the complexion of this football game. The Carls Jr. scoring drive, you just saw it there. Thanks to our friends at Carls Jr. who've been with us all year long. And Oregon will kick the ball off. This time Siegel sends it high to the near side. And Carlisle will take it there out to the 20. And he's taken down from behind by Marley Tucker. Oregon has all the momentum and the emotion, Anthony. We haven't seen this kind of emotion from this team in a long time.
Without a doubt. This is emotion that we haven't seen in Oregon. This is what you need to do to win football games. Get emotional about this game. This game means a whole lot to these guys. It means a whole lot to the seniors. Their last football game they may ever play. With the underclassmen helping out like that, Marley Tucker making plays, they'll win this football game.
3:05 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Those last few minutes of the quarter are so critical to the outcome of the football game. And the Beavers start out from the 24, going to hand it off up the middle, and Jackson almost takes it again. Igor Olshansky coming off the line to make the stop.
Igor made a game-saving tackle right there because Steven Jackson, he gets open in that backfield. Look out. They run the simple dive play, and Steven just tries to find the hole. That's what he does. He does a great job of finding the hole. Just couldn't break away from Igor's grasp.
It has a nice little point over to the Oregon sideline. Out to the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Jackson again. This time, not as much running room as Oregon tries to rip the ball out, and it'll be a gain of about 3 yards.
And that's smart of Marley Tucker. That was Tucker trying to rip that ball out, number 23. That's a great job. Try to take the ball out. Steven Jackson is a big guy. He's going to get some extra yards, and he's going to stand up trying to get extra yards. He's fighting to gain 1 yard, 2 yards. That's when a defender needs to go in there and try to strip the ball just like Marley Tucker did.
No turnovers for either team. That's unusual for a Civil War game.
But a lot of penalties.
Lots of penalties. 38-yard line, 2nd and 7. Ducks bring the pressure. Anderson tries to roll away from it. He goes downfield and throws it too high. So it looks like if Oregon can force the Beavers to throw, Anthony, they'd be in good shape.
Yeah, the defensive backs for Oregon are playing good football downfield. I mean, Derek Anderson, sometimes he doesn't have the greatest touch. When he's protected, I think he can hurt you. But right here, Oregon is flushing Derek out of the pocket, making him make some throws that he's not set or stable.
Good coverage by Keith Lewis, and Stephen Moore brings up a 3rd down and 7 with 1:58 to go here in the half. Ducks bring their linebackers to the line again. Here comes the pressure. They get rid of it, and Beavers looking for the flag, but they're not going to get it. A little incidental contact.
Yeah, when their feet get tangled up, they're not going to call anything on that.
Aaron Gibson there.
Looked like his foot is hurting him a little bit. He got that frown on his face that, he got hurt previous, and his ankle was hurting him a little bit. And looked like that play got tangled up with Newsom and hurt his foot.
Howery back to return the kick. And Toby's punt. This time kind of short again, taken at the 30 by Howery. And he's hit immediately there. It's still a good field position for Oregon with 1:46 to go in the half. And there's the flag coming out. And it's surprising because I think they're going to call it on Oregon.
Right.
Kenny Washington was on his back trying to get players off of him and used his feet to kick up, and he's going to get the personal foul. So instead of the 30-15, Anthony.
Well, when you hit back second, you always get called.
I don't know that I've ever seen anybody get a personal foul penalty laying on their back. Have you?
Well, I think his foot, he kicked the Oregon State defender, and they saw his foot go up.
After the play, personal foul on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the return, first down.
Now you see Washington, he's on his back, and Richard is all over him. He's trying, and they see his feet going up. A play like that, though, as a referee, you may not want to call. I mean, the guys are frustrated. There was nothing there really that was, hey, that's a personal foul. He's trying to get up. You got a defender laying on top of him.
Yeah, the play is over. Receiver's got his hand in your face still. So, and you're on your back on the ground in a kind of a vulnerable position. As Allen Robinson gets taken by Nick Barnett, but that's Oregon's 10th penalty in this football game, Anthony. And I know referees want to control the emotion of a football game in a rivalry game, but isn't that going overboard a little bit?
Well, yeah, they're throwing the flags because they want to keep control. And right now, the momentum is for Oregon State because look at the defense. Barnett makes a great tackle on Allen all by himself and then body slams him. So they're hyped up. They're hyped up because of the penalty. And now that, hey, we got the momentum. We got Oregon pinned back. Let's stop them here.
A huge difference in what you can do offensively from the 30 or the 15. And now Oregon has a 2nd long, and Oregon State wanting to get the clock stopped and maybe get a chance to get the football back.
In these Civil War games, I tell you, that momentum just changes from 1 minute to the other. It just goes back and forth.
That's the 3rd time Dennis Erickson's run into that same coach.
Yeah.
Beavers have the clock stopped, using their timeout.
Well, you want to do the right thing here, both for Oregon and Oregon State. There's a minute 34 left in the half, and what you said earlier is that what you do, in those last couple of minutes and a half reflects on the rest of the game. So both coaches are trying to figure out, hey, what's our best scenario? What can we do? What personnel can we put in the game? It's important at this time.
Interesting to see if Oregon will be aggressive here and put the ball in the air, if they'll try to run the football. They go with an unbalanced line to the right side, and now there's movement. 11 penalties now on Oregon in the first half, yet they're still tied at 17.
I think that was on the offensive line for Oregon.
Dead ball, false start, on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
With that, Joe, I mean, you, as an offensive lineman, you really have to sit in and you have to be smart. You know, they say the offensive linemen are the smartest guys on the field, because they got to know the snap count. They got to know situations when they line up, seeing defenders switch positions and change. You got to think it's an offensive lineman. When's the snap count? I have to listen for the snap count. No offsides.
So a drive that could have started at the 30 is now back to the 10. With 1:34 to go, and this is dangerous territory as Amundsen goes across and is hit immediately and dropped. And it'll be 3rd down and long for the Ducks.
I tell you, that Nick Barnett, Joe, is a heck of a player. He's all over the football field. I mean, he's coming there. He is also fighting through a bunch of offensive linemen to make the tackle all by himself. That's a linebacker that can see the field. He has nice range, and he scopes where the running back is and makes the tackle.
Beavers use another timeout, their second timeout of the game, to stop the clock, and they're going to get a chance, unless Oregon can convert here, Anthony, to get the ball back.
Yeah, and like I said, there's a lot of time. A minute 23, that's a lot of time in this game. In the first half, Oregon, you know, I think they have to play it safe. Don't do anything that could cause of a turnover or a fumble. Try to get it downfield. Jose's been punting the ball really well. So maybe, hey, let's rely on our punter to get Oregon State backed up a little bit. And our defense has been playing good. Let's have our defense stop them.
And that is their final timeout. Remember, Anderson used one earlier on offense when they could not get the play out of the huddle. So that's their final timeout. So if Oregon does run the ball here, you'd think that they'd be able to take it kind of under 50 seconds, somewhere in that range. Or you get aggressive and try and get the first down. We'll see what they try to do here. History would tell me, Anthony, that they would run the ball.
Yeah, I think they're going to run the ball. Again, I think Mike Bellotti took a notice of Jose putting the football. He's been putting the ball very well.
Ducks backed up to the 11-yard line. Of course, they'd love to have a little more room to punt the ball. Alley in motion. Fife's going to hand the ball off, and Oregon fumbles the ball. And Alan Amundsen gets back on it. Almost disaster for Oregon.
Yeah, that's what you don't want right there, a turnover.
But this is where they want to get up slow, though. Kind of lollygag around a little bit.
Take the time, run some clock, you may even take a penalty.
Oregon has an opportunity to run here about 15 more seconds off the clock before the punt. Beavers are coming with the block. Good protection, and the punt sent out. This one's a short punt, taken at the 47-yard line. Looking for some room. The Beavers have great field position at the 39. And Anthony, why didn't Oregon use all that time before they punted the football?
Well, I don't think Jose knew the clock and the game clock, and that's not being a quarterback, he's being a punter. He's not looking at the clock, he's looking for the snap. But they could have run some time off that clock to make it, you know, pretty tough for Oregon State to get in field goal position.
41 seconds, tied at 17, and this is a result of Oregon penalties on the punt return, and then after that, the illegal motion on the line of scrimmage. Ducks showing blitz, and they'll drop back into coverage. Now the pressure comes over the middle, and it's caught down the 10-yard line by Kenny Farley with 35 seconds to go in the half. All traced back to the penalties, and the Beavers go to the no huddle. Anderson just goes ahead and spikes the ball. 1 second goes, a couple seconds go off the clock as they get the clock restarted after the chains were set for the first down. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 now. 2nd and goal.
We just talked about that momentum change, and just a few minutes, it was Oregon's had the momentum, and now Oregon State, Derek does a nice job of holding the ball, trying to buy time for the receiver to get open, and Farley makes a great diving catch. Ducks need to come up big defensively here. 2nd and goal.
Anderson to throw. Looking at the end zone. He's got his man. Touchdown, Oregon State.
What that is, Joe, is you got all those receivers running all over the field. Oregon is known for playing man-to-man most of the time. When you play man-to-man down here in the red zone, 20 yards and in, it's tough to cover receivers doing crossing routes. And they might be playing a zone. I think the receiver just got in a zone. Derek Anderson had enough time to find the receiver. And the receivers, they're taught to find those open spots in that red zone and just sit there.
Oregon had all the momentum in this football game. The defense stopped them. Get the punt return. And then a 15-yard penalty put them in the shadow of their goal line. Had the punt, couldn't run out the clock. And Oregon State gets a touchdown out of it. And legal procedure on the Beavers on the extra point try. They'll have to do it again. But Anthony, I'm sure as a coach, if you're Mike Bellotti, that is so frustrating because you did all that to get back in the game and to get the game tied, and then you just gave it right back to him.
Well, without a doubt, he's going to be frustrated when he gets in the locker room.
Illegal formation on the kicking team. 6 players on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
What you're going to do, though, Joe, is Mike Bellotti is going to tell his guys, hey, we're still in this ball game, and we've been giving these guys 23 points, 24 points. I mean, we're doing it ourselves. They're not beating us, and that's what he's going to tell these guys. We can beat this team if we don't help them. And right now, Oregon is helping Oregon State win this game.
Illanimi will try the attempt again, and this one is up and through, and Oregon State has the lead, 24-17. What has been a defensive battle in Civil War time is you see Ryan Shaw going out with an ankle injury, which is not a good sign because Ryan Shaw has had some injury troubles here in Oregon.
Well, we just talked about that threesome with the running back crew at Oregon. Shaw, Terrence Whitehead, and Allen. And now it comes down to Terrence Whitehead and Allen to run the football, to carry the load. I know this is tough on Shaw because Shaw was running. He had a couple of nice runs in the first quarter, and he was running hard. Had a little pep in his step, and I think he felt confident. This injury in the last game, it's a lot of frustration setting in.
A very long first half, almost 2 hours old, mostly because of the penalties, Anthony.
Yeah.
Sent to the corner where Matt Floberg takes a fair catch on it. And with that fair catch, no time should run off the clock. There's a flag down. So we'll see if they get it worked out here. Surprise, Anthony, there's a flag down.
I think it's Oregon State. Well, Oregon could have good field position here.
Interference with the opportunity to catch and kick. Penetration of the 2-yard belt on the kicking team. 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul. First down.
Talk about field position because of the penalty. Now Oregon has a chance to get in field goal range.
They do have 3 timeouts still, so you think you probably got 3 plays to be able to run. So much, Anthony, and you play football so long, but so much happens in that final 3 minutes of a half.
Oh, without a doubt. It's just so important to play good in those final couple minutes.
Looks at the 44, 5 wants to throw, plenty of time. Now he's going to try and run it. Backs out, now he throws, and it is almost caught. It is caught, but out of bounds, and it will be incomplete. Powery staying with it, down to 17 on the clock.
On that last play, Jason did a nice job of trying to stay in the pocket and stay alive and not get sacked and still get the ball downfield.
Ducks realistically need just about 20 yards, Anthony, to give Jared Siegel a chance at it.
Yeah, you cross the 50, Jared can keep the ball in anytime.
He has a miss earlier in this football game. And Fife again going to throw. Good protection. He steps up, looks downfield, and it is intercepted by Calvin Carlisle. And now they're going to say the ball hit the ground, and it's incomplete. 11 seconds left. And Calvin Carlisle goes from a celebration of winning the national championship to wondering what happened.
Well, it looked like it was going to be a great interception. Jason trying to hit Keenan on a inside route, and I think the ball did hit the ground. It's tough to call right here. Carlisle did a nice job of staying with this ball. But I think that was a catch, Joe. I think he...
Yeah. Good catch by
landed it on his arm.
So unless Oregon can do anything here with 11 seconds, it's really not going to matter in the scope of the game.
Right.
Fife looking to throw on 3rd and 10. Plenty of time, steps up. Now he throws it, and he just throws it away, and it's going to be 4th down now. So I guess you have to punt the ball, or you go back and take a knee. You give them the ball because the clock stops on possession. But I think if you just run a play here, Hail Mary play, then you're fine, right?
Yeah, you just run the ball off. A Hail Mary play, I just do a Hail Mary, take the time off the clock, you go in at halftime and regroup.
Never know, you might get a pass interference call. Half cannot end on a defensive penalty.
The secondary for Oregon State is playing some good football right here by really taking the receivers downfield and making plays downfield because the ball's in the air.
Beavers trying to bring some pressure, and Fife is hit from behind, fumbles the football, and that's going to do it for the half. So no harm, no foul on that. They'll credit the fumble to Oregon State. It'll go down as a turnover, but it's not really one. It just ends the half, and we go to the break. Halftime, Oregon State leading it by 7 on the late touchdown. Oregon State leads it 24-17 here at halftime. Teams are back on the field, and time to take a look at our stats brought to you by Budweiser. Anthony, pretty even. As you look at it, the big key is the penalties and the time of those penalties.
I think you're right. The penalties are hurting both teams and really Oregon. But right now it's pretty equal. You look at the rushing game for Oregon, and Oregon is really running the football very well with 3 running backs. But I think it's going to come down to who makes the least amount of penalties and who tries to make some big plays and try to make something happen in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
We saw Ryan Shaw go out with the ankle. Also, Terrence Whitehead is a little dinged up, and that's why we're seeing so much of Allen Amundsen. And they're down to their final tailback. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And Allen's a senior. He wants to carry that load. He's going to have to.
Take a look at the quarterbacks. Pretty similar, although Derek Anderson has the benefit of a long touchdown run, really, by Steven Jackson, who broke a tackle on a screen pass and went all the way. And they've got the 2 touchdowns for that. So pretty similar play out of the quarterbacks.
Well, both quarterbacks have to come into this game, and they know that, they're not the superstar. They just have to go in and play their game, and no turnovers. That was the key, no interceptions. I think both quarterbacks are doing a great job of finding where to throw the football. If they can't throw it in a certain area, hey, I'll take a sack or a run.
Mike Bellotti's team, they've not lost a lot of games in the last few years, and in fact, Anthony, they've lost more games in the last 4 weeks than they've lost in the last 3 years. And so you never want to get used to something like that.
No, you don't. That's heartbreaking for the seniors on this team, because the seniors don't know the feeling of these losses back to back at home. They don't know that feeling.
So Jared Siegel will kick it off as Oregon took the ball to start the game and was stopped on a quick 3 and out. And his kick, again, off to the far corner, angled, taken by the Beavers at the 20. They break through. And Eric Williams has it out across the 30-yard line. Pretty good field position for the Beavers.
Good field position for the Beavers, but again, the Ducks defense is playing good, so they're used to this field position right now. Remember, there were some nice blocks on that kickoff return for Oregon State. Williams did a nice job of finding the lane and getting down to the 30-yard line, past the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Beavers. They'll start from the 35. They'll hand it off to Jackson. They'll try to string it out. And Jackson tries to get the corner.
You see that strength of Steven Jackson where he just stiff arms a defender and just knocks him down. And as he turns to the Ducks bench and points out his number. But right here, you see the stiff arm and just pushes the defender, Martin, off him. Sign of a good running back, a strong running back.
He's Oregon State single-season record holder. And he's going to take it again and breaks one tackle, but can't get away, and they'll take it up for a gain of about 1.
To stop Steven Jackson, Joe, it's going to come down to the Oregon's defensive line to control the line of scrimmage. Because Steven is coming up. There's no fullback in front of Steven Jackson. He's back there, single back set. He's just looking for that hole. And for the defenders, for Oregon, they have to fight off that block and make a tackle on a good running back.
So it's good enough for the first down. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Beavers looking to get a little separation against the Ducks. Oregon needs to stop here to get the ball back, Anthony, and try to get this game tied. And they're going to go back to the run. Jackson is taken by Moretti for, let's call it a loss of a yard. Beavers really want to run the football.
They're trying to establish the running game, and you have to with the guy number 34. I mean, if Oregon was on offense, they'd try to establish a running game with Ontario Smith. Steven Jackson can break a long one at any time. Moretti did a great job, getting through the offensive lineman to make this tackle.
Second down, 11 from the 44. Pressure coming up the middle. And the throw is out there incomplete. Into Oregon territory. Sean Kittner with the catch.
Well, this play, it's a 5-step drop for Derek Anderson. He drops back. It's a quick throw. It's a deep end. It's almost like a curl. For a defensive back, that's kind of hard to defend, if you're man-to-man. If you're playing zone, you got a linebacker to help you out, drop it back in that zone.
All the way to the Oregon 37-yard line after starting at the 35. Jackson with the handoff again, and Haloti Ngata is there. And not many guys are stronger than Steven Jackson, but Haloti Ngata is one of them.
Yes, he is. Strong young man, only a freshman. And you can see on that last play, Steven Jackson, again, is trying to find that hole, Joe. I mean, that's what he wants to do. It's a single back set. He's trying to find that hole. It's up to the Oregon defensive line to stop those plays.
Freshman from Salt Lake City, Utah. Talked about him earlier. He was committed to Nebraska, and then he committed to BYU and changed his mind and be an Oregon Duck. Second down, officially 9. It's more like 10. Here comes the pressure. Anderson gets rid of it, and it pops into the air, incomplete.
Well, that's a nice play by Keith Lewis. Keith Lewis' responsibility has always been a tight end, cover a tight end. And I tell you, I don't think there's too many tight ends. I don't think there's any tight ends that can run away from Keith Lewis. Keith Lewis is only a junior, and right here he has a tight end man-to-man coverage across the field. They say if you're a safety, a tight end can't run from you. I don't care who you are. And right there it shows it. Keith Lewis had great coverage.
Big 3rd and 9. Conversion puts him in field goal range. A stop, Oregon gets the ball. Huge play. Ducks drop off of the coverage, but here comes the pressure. It's almost intercepted. And David Moretti had a golf course of green in front of him.
I tell you, Joe, David Moretti is doing everything he can in his power to win this football game. I mean, he's making tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, the shoulder pad. The ball was kind of thrown behind David Moretti like he was a receiver. But he almost made a great play.
Ball came off the shoulder pad. If it would have bounced a little differently, it might still be running. Toby to punt. So the Duck defense does their job, and this one is going to get into the end zone, showing not a good effort by Toby. A net of 17 yards on the punt. Oregon will start for the 20-yard line with their first possession of the second half. We're back after this.
They've landed on the podium to accept Academy Awards. 8 have taken up residence in the Oregon Governor's Mansion. 2 won the Nobel Prize. 180 were named Fulbright Scholars. 67 have gone to the Olympics. And one was the first female to cross the North and South poles. Not bad for a bunch of ducks. The University of Oregon. Spread your wings.
Hey, basketball fans, don't miss the Pape Jam on December 7th. Join the Oregon Ducks men's and women's basketball programs as they look to start the season with a set of W's. The Lady Ducks look to battle the BYU Cougars, and the men set their sights on the Kansas Jayhawks. This rematch of last season's NCAA Tournament Regional Final is one you won't want to miss. Join us December 7th at the Rose Garden in Portland. For tickets, call Ticketmaster at 503-224-4400 or visit them online at Ticketmaster.com.
For the NBA's best, it's nothing but nets. Wednesday, Kid Kittles and the crew hit the road running to try and take down the rising Phoenix Suns. Join the Yes Network team for complete pregame coverage Wednesday starting at 8:30 only on Yes. Can't get enough of Yes on TV? Then hit your desktop and log on to YesNetwork.com. It's packed with scores and highlights, plus columns, analysis, and insights from network personalities. Post to the interactive message boards, participate in daily chats, and view video clips of Yes programs.
I love playing baseball. I think it's the best game in the world.
I had goosebumps. I literally had goosebumps.
YesNetwork.com is your New York sports source. YesNetwork.com. Boot up, log on, dive in. Get an intimate look at the lives of today's superstars with the Yes Network's interview series, Center Stage, where the most celebrated names go one-on-one with host Michael Kay.
You two hated each other.
And a live studio audience.
I never wanted to just hang on to hang on.
It's an in-depth conversation you'll hear nowhere else.
If I was head coach in the NFL 15 years, I don't want to be coaching when I'm 70.
Center Stage, only on Yes, the home of champions. Get all your Sunday pregame action with the NFL Now on Yes. Join host Mike Francesa every week for game day previews, injury reports, and interviews with the players and coaches. Mike Francesa hosts the NFL Now this morning starting at 9 right here on Yes.
Welcome back, Oregon fans. Cheering on their team. It's been a tough little stretch, losing 4 of the last 5, but the Ducks with the ball with a chance to tie this football game, starting from their own 20. Howery goes in motion. They hand it off to Amundsen, who still on his feet, working hard for a gain of about 5. Good run for Alan Amundsen. Again, Terrence Whitehead out of the game with a little bit of an injury, and Ryan Shaw out with an ankle injury, and so it's going to be on the shoulders of Alan Amundsen.
Well, Allen did a nice job there of keeping his feet moving. That's what we tell all young running backs, all you young Pop Warner running backs, that play right there, oh, there's Terrence is back in the game. But you keep your feet moving. If you keep your feet moving, you'll keep moving north and south.
First time we've seen Whitehead since the very early minutes of the football game, so he's had some treatment at halftime, and he's ready to go here in the second half. And Whitehead will get the play action, Fife to throw, and he tries to hit Howery, but knocked away by the Beavers, and it'll be 3rd down and 5.
Well, they're trying to do that little rollout play, Joe, and Jason's having a hard time throwing this ball because he has the pressure, and he's throwing it off his back foot. He's going away from the receiver, and he's throwing the. You don't have much arm strength throwing the ball like that. It's a tough play, but Oregon State's doing a great job of making him throw the ball quick.
Gives Terrell Roberts plenty of opportunity to get over there. Made a nice play. 3rd and 5. To throw, and he goes to Howery, and it's incomplete, throws it behind him. And a quick 3 and out for the Duck offense. Their 3rd quarter woes continue.
Well, I think that was a miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback. Looks like Jason was going to throw it more inside, or he did throw it inside, and Keenan Howery kind of stopped his route. So they need to get together on the sideline, try to figure those problems out, come back and try it again.
Jose Arroyo will punt the football. High snap, but he gets it, corrals it, and very good punt. Deep all the way back to the 20-yard line, but there's some return room, and taken down hard. Hughes, Sam Hughes takes him down hard all the way back there. And Eric Williams going to feel that one. Body slam.
Yeah, that was a body slam. And I tell you, when you play hard on special teams, Sam Hughes is going to be a great, great defender. I mean, one-on-one, making a tackle, and then the strength to slam him down like that. Good play, good football play right there.
So each team with a body slam in the football game. There's Eric Williams.
As a football player, Joe, you never want to get body slammed because your buddies talk about you when you get body slammed.
I don't think there's anything you ever want to get body slammed. So that was a huge play. Jose Arroyo was having a big day, and the Beavers are back to the 22-yard line. They're going to start there, and they'll hand it off to Steven Jackson up the middle. Marley Tucker, Dave Moretti, Earl Shansky, hello to Nada, Kevin Mitchell, good team tackling.
Exactly, and that's what you need against Steven Jackson. You got to have 8 guys at the ball carrier making a tackle. Because also, when you have 8 guys there, one guy could be stripping trying to get that ball out.
Marley Tucker in the game for Rasuli Webster right now, and Tucker getting a lot of action in this game. I know you like Tucker.
Marley Tucker is a good football player. He's a sophomore. There's a lot of good football ahead of him. I can see that.
2nd down, 7 for the Beavers. Jackson to throw it to the outside. Newsom is hit and dropped after a gain of a couple yards. Hit hard by Stephen Moore and Kevin Mitchell.
They tried that little hitch, Joe, and Stephen Moore, I tell you, he gets better and better as the season goes on, and the season's really almost over with, but he's gotten so much better since the season started. To come up and close like that, he came up and closed on Newsom and made a one-on-one tackle. That's tough to do as a corner.
Beavers might be setting up that deep post, trying to draw Stephen Moore in, and then run Newsom around him. 3rd down, and we'll call it 4. Doug Show blitz. Quick drop for Jackson. Got the completion. And almost fumbled by Newsom, but then gets away and gets the 1st down. And it has a little shake for everybody.
Well, Newsom right now he's in the zone. I mean, I tell you, he's the go-to guy. You know, if he can control the run, you know, you can't control Newsom because he's out there on the corner by himself. He did a great job of just running a little slant pattern, like a skinny post against Gibson. Gibson tried to make a strip. Newsom did a good job of getting the 1st down.
Tell you one thing, Gibson almost got it.
He almost get it, and that's what you got to do. If you can't get the tackle, you try to hold on and then try to get the football at the same time.
Jackson now. Not a lot of room, but he falls forward for about 3 yards.
You know, as a defensive coordinator, they say, you know, if the running back, they run a one-back set, they don't have a fullback in front of Steven Jackson, the defensive lineman should stop the run here. And you see, Steven Jackson is coming up, trying to find that hole, but you see Moretti and some linebackers, Gibson comes up, there's nowhere to go. That's how you stop the run.
2nd down and 8 for the Beavers. And the play action, here comes the pressure down the field, and incomplete, too long for James Newsom.
You know, Joe, what I'm impressed with the defensive backs, the 2 corners, Gibson and Stephen Moore, are playing great coverage down the field on the deep post. Deep post, go routes. They're running stride for stride with the receivers. Good football coverage.
Beavers with another 3rd down now coming up.
3rd and 8 for the Beavers.
It'll be a 3rd and 8. Obvious passing situation. Here come the Ducks on the blitz from the outside. Gets rid of it, Newsom open, and they convert him on the 3rd down.
Well, they're showing a trend right here, Joe. They're showing that, hey, 3rd down, we're going to number 2, Newsom. He's getting open. Derek Anderson almost got hit on the blitz, but Newsom does a great job of catching the ball with his fingertips. Bringing the ball in. You got to have some strong fingertips to hold the ball like that and bring it in. Nice job.
Might have been Derek Anderson's best throw of the afternoon on a 3rd and 8. Now they'll go back to Jackson in Oregon territory, and he'll get a couple of yards again. So Oregon doing a good job on Steven Jackson. But they've allowed 2 consecutive 3rd down conversions.
Well, sometimes from a different standpoint, you look at things that you can stop, and you can't stop everything out there. And I think Steven Jackson is more of a threat than Newsom. You have to stop him. You got to control the line of scrimmage, and they're doing that. Newsom's getting some 1st downs. He's keeping the drive alive. But it's sooner or later, they may get a pick. Oregon defensive backs are playing good.
They've had an interception for 15 straight games. They don't have one yet here today. Anderson back to throw. Caught. Down to the 20-yard line. Farley takes it inside, deep into Oregon territory, and the Beavers are threatening once again. Big drive for Oregon State, trying to take control of this football game.
What I talked about earlier about giving Derek Anderson some time to throw the football. He can see the field. He scans the field. He knows where to throw it. Farley does a nice job avoiding the tackle, getting some extra yards. But Derek Anderson, when he's untouched, I'm telling you, he's an excellent quarterback.
Inside the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Beavers. Jackson is hit, and he continues to fall and fight forward. And taken down after a gain of 2 by Halote Nada. Duck defense needs a turnover here big time, Anthony.
Well, the defense have made big plays in the past, and right here, they need to make a big play. Interception, fumble, strip the football. That's what they got to look for, stripping the football, trying to get that football out so they can get it. You can see they start, long drives, you start getting tired. Take that mouthpiece out of your mouth, that means you're getting tired.
2nd down and 8. Anderson's going to throw it. Looking to the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. Kenny Farley. And that should be a 15-yard penalty with the interaction with the fans. And there's the flag. But it shouldn't take away from the nice pass from Derek Anderson to Kenny Farley, and Oregon State is ahead by 2 touchdowns.
Derek Anderson threw a beautiful pass right there.
There's the celebration penalty.
Celebration penalty, yeah. And Dennis doesn't like that stuff. I'll tell you that right now. You can see on his face, he's not happy with that. But again, you can't take nothing away from this throw by Derek Anderson. I mean, he sits in there and throws his ball perfect. Couldn't be a better spot for his football. Farley does the rest by making the catch.
And Erickson not happy about it. Although it's not something he's not used to, the excessive celebration penalty for the Beavers. They lead the Pac-10 in penalties.
Well, those penalties, he knows that those could be avoided. You don't have to do that. Score the touchdown, go back to the sideline, kicks the extra point.
And we'll see if it affects anything as Iwanini goes for the extra point, but he still gets it through, so no harm, no foul penalty. And the Beavers have a 14-point lead. After a long drive, took some time off the clock, got the Duck defense on their heels, 2 big 3rd down conversions, and the Beavers have the lead.
1979, his first checkbook. 1983, a brand new car. 1990, their first home. 1997, an investment in his future. Today, an investment in hers. Your financial partner for life, Uleno Credit Union. Always connected.
Christopher, come on, let's go, sweetie.
In neighborhoods across the country, State Farm is helping to make life safer for children. We're the sole sponsor of the nation's largest child passenger safety study, which found that even though they've outgrown a car seat, kids 40 to 80 pounds still need a car booster seat.
We live where you live.
Being there to help keep kids safe, that's what we're all about.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Dehydration. It can't be predicted. It can be prevented. Nothing has been tested and proven to hydrate athletes better or faster. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Welcome back, everyone. Oregon State with a 31-17 lead. And Anthony, if there ever had to be a response, it's right now, because Oregon third quarter have not been hot.
You're right, Joe. It has to be now. And in the past, Oregon's come out in the 3rd, 4th quarter and just kind of disappeared. Well, right now they can't disappear. Otherwise, if they do, this game's going to get out of hand. and they still have a chance to stay in this ball game. Get the fans involved, the few fans that are there. And Mike Bellotti knows there's a lot of time left on the clock, but the offense has to do something. The offense now has to control this football game. The defense, they've been on the field too long.
And the kick is very short again. Taking it to the 15-yard line. Finney has to move. 40. Can he get a block? Across the 50. So the Ducks will have great field position to start this critical series in this football game. Justin Finney giving him a lift again on the kickoff return.
Well, Justin's doing a great job. It's a short kick, but Justin's doing a great job of finding the lanes, running, weaving back and forth, crossing the 50. He's giving his offense a chance to do something right here. And now the offense needs to take over.
Just a freshman, thought he might get a chance to be that starting cornerback for the Ducks, but he lost the competition to Aaron Gibson in the fall. But he's making up for it, special teams today against the Beavers. Ducks with no first downs this quarter. It's plagued them all season. Fife wants to throw it. He does and has a man, Howery, at the 32-yard line. Completion and a first down with 7:07 to go here in the third quarter.
There's a lot of weapons on that Oregon offense. Keenan Howery, Sammy Parker. Keenan does a nice job, just runs the in pattern, sells it real good. Little move to the outside and gets inside. Great separation from the defender, catches the football.
Howery comes out of the game. Amundsen looking up for a block and taking down hard across the 30-yard line after a gain of about 3. By Mitch Musin, soft-spoken safety from Forest Grove.
Again, we'll talk about that team speed. You see Mitch coming from a safety standpoint to make this tackle, and that's range. Getting to the ball carrier and then taking him down. Good play by Mitch.
Mitch Musin was a quarterback in high school. He's pitched the Beaver coaches about giving him a chance at quarterback. So we'll have to see if that materializes. Second long now for the Ducks. Whitehead hit immediately, and he'll just get a yard. So Oregon going to the run.
When it's up again, it's never too late. You still got to try to establish the running game. They feel like they're in Oregon State's territory. They want to keep running the football. But Oregon State's doing a great job of getting to the football and getting a whole lot of guys there.
So gain of a yard on 2nd and 9. It'll be third down and, well, let's call it 3rd and 5. It's a very long 5, I'll tell you that. From the 27-yard line. Big play. Willis is in motion. Fife to throw to the outside. Amundsen tries to make a move, and there's just nothing doing. Beavers had it figured out, and it brings up a 4th down from the 29-yard line. And the Ducks will have to think about a long field goal try here.
I tell you, that's Oregon State knowing what Oregon's going to do. They're getting guys to the ball carrier so fast that they have to know what's going to happen before it happens. I mean, that's just not all speed right there. That's getting in their playbooks, knowing what Oregon's going to do.
So 2 runs and a screen pass. And Jared Siegel's going to have to come in and try the long field goal. Snap is good. Kick is up. There's whistles. It was no good. The kick is no good, but let's see what the penalty is. It's a big penalty, whatever it is.
Prior to the snap, ball start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So, Anthony, I think the difference here is whether they let him try it again.
Well, he feel confident in his leg that he's staying out there. He can kick this ball. I think he was telling Bellotti, hey, let me try it again.
With 4:46 to go, would it be better to punt the ball and try and pin him down and get the touchdown? Because right here, you're still going to be down 11 even if you get it.
Yeah, he wants to get field position. I believe that the defense is playing good enough. I try to pin him down there and have the defense play well. But Mike Bellotti believes in his kicker.
It's a 51-yard attempt, and another flag comes out. My goodness. Whoever wins is going to celebrate, but Right now, these are two teams that probably deserve to be where they are in the Pac-10.
Dead ball, false start, on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Now they're going to have to punt the football.
Well, yeah, they have to put the football now. He has to come out. Oregon is just, again, Joe, shooting themselves in the foot, not giving themselves a chance. And with the crowd getting into it, and the momentum toward the state side, Oregon has to have a long uphill battle in this third and fourth quarter to try to overcome.
Jose Arroyo trying to pin him deep, sorry, Anthony, as he soft shoes it. Comes down to 10 and taken there, and Sammy Parker and some other Ducks there, and that's where the Beavers will have to start. So now the pressure's on the defense to get the offense the ball back, and that's where we'll be when we come back here to Leisure Stadium. Ducks trailing by 14 right after this.
Their names echo through history.
Like he always said, if you're going to play with any club, the Yankees who you want to be with.
Now, the Yes Network brings you their stories with Yankeeography. 1 hour behind the life and times of the men, the players, the Yankees. See them from boyhood to the Bronx and beyond. True stories of true legends.
We should all be so lucky to have a Yogi Berra in our life.
Go inside the pinstripes on Yankeeography. Only on Yes, the home of champions. You're watching the Yes Network.
Kids got it for 3.
New York's home for over 200 premier games from the 26-time world champion New York Yankees.
Soriano deep to left. Goal!
And the Eastern Conference champion New Jersey Nets.
Martin rocks the rim.
New York's premier sports franchises.
Swung on a drill to right field.
On New York's premier sports network.
Kittles pull up for 3. Go!
The Yes Network.
This one is gone!
Your home of champions.
Welcome back, everyone. Oregon State leading it by 14, and that might have worked out better for Oregon. Anthony?
Well, the defense is playing really good. I think right now the defense can make some plays and turn this game around. They can score on defense. They did that against Washington State. They're playing in his own right now.
Anderson will hand it off on the draw, and Steven Jackson will lose a couple of yards with a very light mist falling at Reser Stadium.
Well, they're doing a great job of trying to contain Steven Jackson. I don't know if you can control him and stop Steven, but you can contain him for a while. What Oregon doesn't want is have Steven make a big play or a big run.
Second down and long for Derek Anderson. And the Ducks try to put a little pressure on him to go to the outside. And a little bit of room, still on his feet to the 20-yard line, and it's going to be a Beaver first down. Cole Clayson with the catch.
That's that play right there, Joe, that everybody's been running against Oregon has been successful. I think it started out with UCLA, it's just like a little hitch, and the first receiver goes out and blocks. And then there you go. You got a lot of blockers in front of you. You're going to get some yards. The key to that play is that the linebackers and defensive linemen got to get to the sideline. They got to be able to fly to the sideline and help out those corners out there.
Gain of 13, Clayson the walk-on. His first catch of the day. And Anderson's going to throw this one plenty of time. Looks downfield, had a man wide open, and just overshot it.
Yeah, Newsom was wide open on that then. He had his the corner beat on a simple out pattern, and that might have been my 30-yard completion if Derek Anderson would have connected.
I saw in one of the breaks earlier that they're having a national mascot contest, and I think we may go for the national trash talking contest. Either one of these teams today could possibly win that.
Oh, yeah. Always a lot of talking in a game like today.
Jackson again. Getting to the outside. Keith Lewis runs him down. And for Jackson, the second half, Anthony, he's got 10 carries for 24 yards. So they're doing a pretty good job as we got a little extracurricular activity.
Well, right there, you got two competitors going head-to-head, Keith Lewis and Steven Jackson. And I tell you, Steven Jackson tries to get to his corner, and there's a lane. But we talk about team speed. Well, number 16, that's speed right there by himself, getting there, making this tackle. And you can see they're a little talking, and then Steven puts his hands in his face, and just two guys going at each other, you know, having a good time.
3rd and 5. Beavers have been good on 3rd down. Ducks trying to bring the pressure outside. Clayson has the catch and has the first down again. My goodness.
What's really going on, Joe, is the protection that Derek Anderson's getting. He's getting some very good protection. Oregon sent the house out. A couple of linebackers came up and tried to blitz on that. But the offensive line for Oregon State did a great job of keeping those guys out. Give Derek some time, he can find the receiver.
Out to the 36-yard line now. 1st and 10. There's a young man that's doing it all with just hard work, because he does not have the physical skills to be a Pac-10 football player, but he's got the desire and the effort to get it done. And Jackson again for just a couple of yards. They're doing a good job on Jackson. Just can't stop him on 3rd down.
They're doing a great job on Jackson, exactly. They can't get off the field on 3rd down. And the key to having a good defense is you have to get off the field on 3rd down. Otherwise, you start getting tired because you're on the field too long. And when fatigue sets in a football player, he stops thinking.
This will be a 2nd down. And we got a stoppage of play here as Oregon State uses a timeout. Let's talk about it. Derek Anderson a little confused about what the Beavers wanted to do offensively as he talks with Dennis Erickson. Eric Yarber, the receivers coach there behind him. And on the Oregon sideline, Don Pelham talking to his linebackers. There's a guy that's been around the Civil War for a few years, huh?
Don Pelham's been around a long time. And Don Pelham helped recruit me, and he knows his football, I'll tell you that.
Beavers are in control of this one right now. The touchdown to start the 2nd half and the touchdown going into the half. The difference in this football game is about 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, here, Joe, I think Oregon's defenses really have to find a way to make a play to help this offense out. The Oregon's offense is struggling right now. They're trying to get the ball downfield. They can't make any plays. The defense, they have some guys on that team that can make plays. And I think it comes down to, hey, guys on the defense, let's help our offense out. Let's try to score some points or give them good field position. Somehow, we got to find a way to help these guys out. And it's a team game. When one side is struggling, the other side will help out.
Once again, the home team has won the last 5 in this meeting between the in-state rivals. And the Beavers look like they're ready to hold serve again. As Anderson goes back to throw, steps up. Leeson makes a move. And he's taken down at the 45-yard line by Sam Hughes.
So we talk about that protection that Derek's getting. And the reason why the protection is so good is because the offensive linemen, they're not even getting close to Derek Anderson. I mean, he's stepping up in the pocket, throwing off his front foot, following through, connecting to the receivers.
Ducks need something good to happen here, or it's going to be very difficult for them against a very good defense. You know, a 14-point deficit against Arizona State as Jackson takes it around the corner, 20, 10, 5. Referee gets taken down. Looked like he went out about around the 4-yard line. And Oregon State making a bid to try and get to the inside bowl. Which at this point would be great for them, but...
Well, I'll tell you right here, this is what I'm talking about with Steven Jackson. One man can't bring this guy down. He is so strong to get down the field, knock off a defender, and still get extra 4 or 5 yards. I mean, he did that all by himself. Lower his head, you know, he's taking it to the defender.
Junior Salvii coming all the way from the line, the other side to make the stop. So a good hustle from Junior. And the Beavers have a 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, and a pretty good spot. He went out at the 4, going to start from the 2. Oregon brings the pressure, and Jackson's met, but gets to the line and gets the touchdown. Oregon State in command of this one. as the Ducks season has fallen to depths that we have not seen for a long time. Still a lot of time, though, Anthony. Time to get back in it.
There's a lot of time. Right here, Steven Jackson. We're talking about the strength of this young man, number 34. He goes head-to-head with Keith Lewis, another good football player. But Steven has enough power to get that ball across the end zone to score the touchdown.
Extra point is up and good. And Oregon State is out to a 21-point lead, 38-17. There's Steven Jackson from Las Vegas on the sideline. Ducks did a pretty good job on him all the way up till that last drive.
That's what Steven does. You may contain him for a little while, but you can't stop him. He'll break those long ones at any given time, and that's what he did. And then he finished it off here by taking it in the end zone, running up head-to-head with one of Oregon's top defenders and getting in the end zone. They had 3 or 4 guys, Moretti, and a lot of guys trying to get him out of there. But the strength of Steven Jackson, the leg power, he kept his feet moving. That's the key to that. He kept his feet moving, and he crossed the end zone.
Jackson with 25 carries, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns. He has 2 catches as well, another touchdown there. So a total of 3, the Carl's Jr. scoring drive, 90 yards in 9 plays. Anthony, they had him pinned back on the 10-yard line, but again, third down conversions, they couldn't get off the field.
Exactly right. You got to get off on third down, and Oregon didn't get off the field. The defense got tired, and I said early in the game, Steven Jackson gets stronger as the game gets going.
Give the Beavers credit for playing a good football game. Derek Anderson threw 5 interceptions against Washington, and he has not thrown one here today. So it's just a matter of whether he's hot or not, and today he's been hot. As Finney takes it on the kickoff return.
I don't think he's so hot, Joe, because he hasn't been touched. They're sending some guys after. Oregon's trying to send some backers after Derek Anderson. But Derek Anderson, he's doing a great job of stepping back in the pocket. He'll step up, throw the football. Proper mechanics, stepping on his front foot, getting rid of the football, and finding the receiver.
Anderson on the day is 18 of 33 for 318 yards. So Derek Anderson having his best Pac-10 game. A lot of fans for Oregon State calling for his replacement midway through the year, but they stuck with him, and it's paying off today in the Civil War. Now Oregon has to come out and throw the ball, and it's almost picked off.
And then number 42 is Nick Barnett. He's all over the football field. He's like David Moretti to the Oregon football team in the linebacker crew. Nick Barnett, he plays great pass coverage, gets back in the zone, gets his hands on the balls. Nice play by number 42.
Fife on second down, going to hand it off to Amundsen. Still on his feet, across the 30 to the 31-yard line. It's a pretty shifty run there for Allen Amundsen, where it will be 3rd and short now for the Ducks.
That was a great run by Allen because he didn't let one man take him down. He came through the hole. He shot through the hole like he was shot out of a cannon. Get that hole, make some moves in the backfield, and get a couple 3 extra yards because of those moves.
3rd down and 2. Ducks like the option out of this formation. On 3rd and 2 from the 31-yard line. 10 to go in the quarter. Here's the option. Short side. Fife looked like he fell down, but kept his feet and got the first down.
Yeah, Joe, I don't think his knee hit the ground, so they can't call him down.
And that's the end of the quarter. All Oregon State. 2 touchdowns in the quarter. They lead it by 21. Ducks need a miracle comeback.
19.
So we start the 4th quarter. Oregon down by 21 to Oregon State, and not an unfamiliar spot, Anthony, the last few weeks. And you see right here, we're talking about during the break, these are your big guys. You only got the ball to them 4 times.
So those are playmakers right there, and you have to find a way to get those guys the ball.
Fife off his back foot. And Keenan Howard did a pretty good job making sure it wasn't an interception, but that may be on Keenan Howard. We'll have to wait and see.
It could be. But they're saying no.
No, they're going to give it to Carlisle, which is not a very good call.
Well, you see Jason's trying to get the ball to him. Keenan Howard has to come back on this ball.
On the defense. 15-yard penalty, previous time.
Well, he got in there.
Yeah, you have to give him an opportunity to try to come back to the football. Carlisle didn't do that, and that's why there was a flag. He's upset about it. The defensive backs for Oregon State know that the ball is going to be in the air, so they're ready for anything now.
210 yards of penalties in this football game between two teams that right now, after coming off of having some great years, Oregon State 2 years ago, Oregon last year, clear that both teams have fallen back.
Well, this is a sloppy game today with the penalties, but also there's some good plays by both teams. Steven Jackson, Keith Lewis, Moretti on the Oregon team.
Reister in motion. Fife's going to hand the ball off. Amundsen tries to make a move. Spins. 40. 30. Has some room. Doesn't have the speed. 20. Down to the 13-yard line for Alan Amundsen.
Allen knows, Joe, that this is his senior year. This may be the last time he touches this football, and he's doing everything. And you see Sammy Parker goes up, makes a nice block right here to seal the inside lane to spring Allen. Allen just takes it, does it on his own, gets down the field. Almost had enough speed to break it. I think the defender had a good angle to catch Allen because not a lot of people can catch Allen. I'll tell you that.
Dennis Weathersby runs him down, and Amundsen doing a pretty good job. 11 carries, 79 yards. Jason Willis in motion. Ducks on the option. And nowhere to go as Fife turns it up to the 10-yard line. And Ducks need to get the ball in the end zone here, Anthony. This is 4-down territory.
Yeah, they have to get the ball in the end zone. There's no field goals now that's going to help you win this game. It's not about field goals. It's about touchdowns. When you're down here, you got to look at your go-to guys in the pass in the red zone. It's usually been number 81, George Reister. They try to get him the football. He's been pretty quiet today. I think he's only caught one catch. In this red zone area, that's the guy you need to go to.
2nd down and 8. Fife's going to throw it. Gets outside. Looking. Still looking. Now he's running all over the place. Throws it deep into the end zone, and it is intercepted.
I think Fife shouldn't have thrown that football, Joe. I mean, he was scrambling, trying to make something happen. I think he maybe was trying to throw the ball out of the end zone. There's a flag on the play, so we'll see what happens.
Flag down with all that running around. It's likely a holding. Let's take a look.
Illegal block in the back on the offense. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
As you see, Jason, I mean, he's trying to make plays, and he wants to do everything he can. As a young quarterback, you try to do this, but you got to find the time to say, hey, I can't throw the ball anywhere. I got to either take the sack or throw it out of bounds. And I think he was trying to throw it out of the end zone, and it floated on him.
Mitch Musin got up and took it away, and Musin's got about 6 inches on Keenan Howery, big young man. Beaver fans saying number 1, more like number 5. And they're getting it done today against the Ducks as Steven Jackson goes into the line for 2.
Well, this Oregon offense and defense has to keep fighting, Joe, because, again, it's a 4th quarter. There's still some football. Anything can happen in these type of games. I mean, you need to score quick on a fumble recovery, interception for a touchdown. So it's not over. There's a lot of time left, but you have to keep their poise and keep playing hard.
Second down and 9 after a gain of 1 is all they'll give him. And Anderson to throw, plenty of time. Now he gets pressure. And they get to him and drop him for about a 5-yard loss. Haloti Ngata there.
Well, they tried to do that pump fake, Derek Anderson. When you do a pump fake, you have to have a lot of time. And when you don't have time, there's no way you get rid of this ball. He tries to pump fake it. There's no time. Defensive line just collapsed the pocket, and he goes down under 3 defensive linemen.
And how about the posture of the Beavers, Anthony? Up 21, but still coming out to throw the football.
They want to put this game to rest. They want to have a nice cushion where they can feel comfortable. Right now, they know that this game is not out of hand.
3rd and 14. Anderson to throw. Goes to the outside. It's caught by Newsom. He's taken down, though. Hughes there for the tackle, so it will be 4th down for the Beavers, and they'll have to punt the football.
It's a great job by Oregon defense to come in, shut them down, do what they had to do. Now you get that offense back on the field and have an opportunity to score some points.
Carl Tobey back to punt the ball for Oregon State, and Keenan Howery back to return. Ducks need a lift from their superstar. Ducks look like they're coming after it. They are, and they get it. It's blocked, but it spins forward. Beavers pick it up. And it cannot be advanced after the touch if it goes past the line of scrimmage. It's just like downing a punt.
Yeah, I didn't see where that ball went, Joe. It was definitely blocked.
Blocked by Gary Daniels.
It was blocked. It was touched behind the line. Therefore, the spot of touching was the illegal touching. First down for the defense.
So you got to think of it just like a regular punt that goes past the line, and it's downed by the team that's covering. So Daniels gets there. Pretty unfortunate that the ball didn't go the other way, as Daniels was there early.
Oh, he was there right. No one blocked him. He was untouched. When you're untouched, you got to make that play. And that's the break I'm talking about that Oregon can get. If you get a break like that, you can score quick. You're still in the ballgame.
Actually overran it. 33-yard line now. Fife back to throw, under pressure, steps up, looks to the end zone. It is almost caught by George Reister.
There's that number 81 that you need to get the ball to him. He had a chance right there. The ball was right on the money. I think a little bit over his reach. He had a chance to make a spectacular catch, as you see right here. The ball just bounced out. Those kind of plays, when the ball hits your hands, you usually tell those receivers they have to be your football. That has to be a catch.
2nd down, 10. Ducks on the option to the short side. Fife brought down to the 30-yard line.
Well, they ran that option. They're trying to break that option. They're trying to get Fife loose because they know that the running back is getting covered by a linebacker or a corner. Fife's trying to get some extra yards, but I tell you, when your quarterback carries a football, he is game to be hit. Those linebackers and those defensive backs are looking to come up and try to tattoo a quarterback when he's carrying that football.
3rd down and 7 now. After the 3-yard run on 2nd and 10. 4-down territory, though, so that's probably looking like that last down is a 1st down. They're going to have to go for it on 4th down if they don't get it. Fife throws it over the top of the receiver, and now it's 4th down.
That pressure that Oregon State's putting on Fife is really not giving him a whole lot of time to throw. When he does throw it, I think he feels that pressure, and his balls are a little high.
So it'll be 4th down and 7. Oregon having to go for it. They've had a few things go their way that they haven't converted. Remember back to the Finney return. On kickoff, they took it all the way to the 20. They didn't get any points out of that. Now a block punt. It's 4th and 7. Beavers are coming after it. Fife to throw. Has to step away. Throws it, and it's incomplete. Beavers take over. So a blocked punt turns into nothing as the Oregon State defense holds. And Dennis Erickson has to feel very good about how his team is playing today.
Well, that's why that Oregon State defense is ranked #1 in the Pac-10. As you see here, there's a lot of pressure on Fife. He can't find any place to throw the football. And the defensive backs are doing a great job downfield of covering the receivers.
You saw Reister was open. He just couldn't get it to him. And if you're the Ducks, do you make a change here and give Kellen Clemens an opportunity next time they get the ball or not?
No, I think you stay with Jason Fife. I mean, in fact, you may have him finish the game. As you see, there's a lot of extra activity down below. He's still, and even Dennis Erickson is getting to the finger pointing.
Of all people, Dennis Erickson should not be accusing anybody of poor sportsmanship.
Well, the coaches usually want to stay out of that. They don't, but we talk about being a civil war. Coaches and players, they all get excited about it. Keith Lewis and David Moretti Mitchell all try to do something. They're not really doing anything. He just did a little push, a little love tap. That's going to happen. That's going to happen in football.
Beavers hand the ball off up the middle. Jackson for a couple of yards. And up by 21, Junior Salvihi in on the stop. You know, you look at this football team, the Oregon State team, Anthony, and it's hard to see how they lost 4 games this year. It's a good football team. Dennis Erickson, outstanding coach, and he's got a good football team. You know, the way Derek Anderson's played today, if he'd played anything close to this, they'd be in the hunt for the Rose Bowl.
Well, I think in the past that they've played well, but Derek Anderson has some problems with throwing interceptions, and I think that's what hurt them. And teams scored touchdowns on those interceptions.
3rd down and 2, there's a whistle on the play.
Timeout. University
And
of
Oregon
Oregon,
moves to timeout.
number 1.
Talk about what they want to do here on 3rd down and 2. Mike Bellotti trying to rally the troops for a miracle. They're down 31-17. Oregon State leading at 38-17. And not a good day for the Oregon Ducks. And there will be better days, Anthony. This program is on solid footing. They're having a great recruiting year. We'll get to talk about more of that as we head down the stretch here. 3rd and 2 for the Beavers. Anderson's going to throw it. Got his man. And they're 7 of 14 on 3rd down conversions.
When you got a receiver like Newsom, he's running a little hitch. He's going to get open. You have to respect his speed for a deep play. And that's what the corners are doing. He runs a 5-yard hitch. Good enough for a 1st down. A lot of times in these situations with a receiver like that, you have to go up and bump him and play man-to-man and challenge the guy. But you got some freshmen trying to do that, so it's tough to do for Oregon.
1st and 10 now for the Beavers. Farley goes in motion. Farley's going to be a big player. Jackson hit by Junior Salvihi and taken down. And Anthony, we're talking about the program being on solid footing. What does a year like this and the way it's ended for Oregon do to a program? How hard is it to get the momentum back that they had in the last couple of years?
I don't think it's going to be hard because once the season's over with, you forget about that season. Also, it's some fuel for the fire to say, hey, we had a so-so season like last year. Let's be better next year. These guys, a lot of these guys are juniors. They're coming back next year. They're going to remember this feeling. So I think it's going to be easier for them to say, hey, I'm going to play a whole lot better next year.
Keith Lewis, one of those juniors. Of course, they'll have to deal with Steven Jackson again as he gets thrown out of bounds. Those two have had a battle all day, and Jackson wants to get a word to him. As he does, you see it right there.
And again, we're talking about competitors. I mean, these 2 guys, they're competing. I mean, they're trying to get the best of each other. And that's what you want to see. I mean, as long as you're playing within the rules of the football, Steven Jackson just got slammed. He's just upset about it. Hey, it's going to happen.
Normally, if you're a running back, you're going to get tackled. So,
and that was in play. I mean, that wasn't out of bounds. That was in play. You see the coaches trying to hold him back for saying something, but there's nothing you can say.
And for Oregon, there's not much they can really say at all.
No.
Because the ultimate trash talk is scoreboard.
You're exactly right.
Anderson throws it. It's tipped. And incomplete.
Well, there's 8:53 on the clock, Joe, and the defense is still trying to fight. And you have to keep fighting. They did a great job of getting off the field here. It's 4th and 5, stopping a good offense, containing Steven Jackson. But when it comes back down to the offense has to try to do something. The offense has to try to put some points on the board.
At one point in this football game, it was 17 all. Oregon had all the momentum in the football game, and then Oregon State got a touchdown right before the half, and that changed everything, Anthony. Taken down half of the 13-yard line. We'll talk about that. Also, the Ducks and the possible bowl field situation as it comes up. Right now they trail it by 21 with 8:47 to go from Reser Stadium.
During the game.
Welcome back, everyone, and take you back to '94. Oregon trying to win and get to the Rose Bowl when Kristen McLemore had a broken hand, and then he made 2 huge catches, Anthony, on a final drive that gave Oregon a chance to win the game, win the Pac-10 championship outright. They capped it off with a screen pass to Dino Filioff for a touchdown. Those are the good old days right now.
Well, that's what I talk about all the time, is that, the game is never over till it's over. And that game right there, they were trying to come back to win the game, and they did. Here, they got a little uphill battle to go through, but they still have a chance.
Starting from their own 13. Sammy Parker looking for his first catch of the day. And Fife's going to throw it. Big pressure. Steps up, lofts it over the top. Man wide open is Howery. 40, tries to make a move. And he's still on his feet. Whistles come in, still on his feet.
Jason Fine to Keenan Howery.
Roberts doesn't want to let go.
No, he's trying to do a body slam, Joe. He's trying to body slam another receiver. Wasn't strong enough. Keenan did a great job of finding the open spot. That time, Jason did a nice job of getting protected, stepping up in the pocket. Keenan finds a spot where he needs to get to. Ball's right there, right on the numbers, getting downfield. Big play. Big-time player makes a big play.
Little crossing route. Wrestling move at the end of it. So Oregon out to the 47-yard line. Play action. Jason looking downfield, goes deep, and he throws it just out of bounds. Sammy Parker caught it, but out of bounds.
That's that speed by Sammy Parker, and I'm surprised they haven't thrown to him deep more often. I think he's a lot faster. I think he is faster than both defensive backs on the field, and he can get behind the secondary.
Ducks trying to give themselves a chance to get back in it. Woo! Crazier things have happened in college football, that's for sure. Oregon scored 3 touchdowns in 3 minutes against UCLA back in the 70s. Not saying it's going to happen, just saying that crazy things happen in football. Outside, catch is made by Jason Willis for the first down.
And there's another guy, Joe, that's been quiet, Jason Willis. Well, we haven't heard his number all day long, and there's a flag on the play, so hopefully they don't take this away from Oregon, but talk about penalties, that's what it does, it's hurt Oregon.
Ducks not able to get much going offensively through the air all game long. And the big thing has been third down conversions. They've not been good on third down conversions. So Fife going to go back to throw. Nobody open. And he goes down.
You have to give credit to the Oregon State secondary and the linebackers for coverage, because Jason had a whole lot of time to throw this football. I mean, you're only allowed, 4 to 5 seconds to throw a football, and you got to get rid of it. They did a great job downfield. Oregon State did a great job of covering those receivers. He's looking downfield. Right there, that ball should be coming out, because you don't have much time.
I think Jason hurt his knee on that play as well. Kind of looking around, he sees limping just a little bit as he goes back to throw. Goes to the backside, he throws an interception. And I don't think he was 100% healthy on that play as Mitch Busen gets his second interception. And suffice to say, I don't know that there's ever been an easier one.
Yeah, that was easy. That was well overthrown. And you're right, he was limping a little bit, trying to throw that football across the field, which is tough to do. It's going to roll out to his left. And Keenan or Jason comes to the other side, throws it across the field, and well overthrown is his receiver. Easy catch for Mitch. Then we talk about the quarterback change, Joe. Right now, we could have a quarterback change.
At the very least, give Colin Cummings a chance to play a little bit. Get some game action. As Jackson carries forward for a gain of 0. And the Beavers have had offensive success in spurts. No question about that, but they've just had too many possessions, I think, is the most thing. A lot of people want to blame the Oregon defense. It's more about the offense at this point.
Yeah, it is. The offense, you know, Oregon State's offense, the third down conversion, they've been converting on third down, keeping the, oh, there's a flag on the play. Just trying to discuss what's going on here.
Offsetting penalties. Dead ball fouls.
Dead ball foul, personal foul on the defense. Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. These two penalties cancel.
Well, we may see a lot of that, especially towards the end of the game, when there's a lot of feelings of happiness from Oregon State and sadness from Oregon, that they're going to let their feelings kind of flow with their body language.
From the 20-yard line, Jackson hit and dropped after a gain of 1. Kai Smalley in there with that big club on his hand. Seth McEwen as well. Some seniors getting a chance to play in their final Civil War game. I know this is not the way they wanted to end it, Anthony.
No, they didn't. I mean, like I said, this game is very important for the seniors because it might be the last football game they ever play in. And the score right now is just, it's going to be tough for the Oregon seniors to stomach. Right here, though, they're doing a great job. The defensive line is doing a great job of getting to the ball carrier, stopping the ball carrier at the line of scrimmage. And that's what you need to be a good rush defender.
Take a look at Seth McEwen's hand with pressure coming on Anderson. And trying to get it out there. And Beavers want the interference call. They're not going to get it. Kintner is incomplete from Anderson as he was under pressure. And now we'll see whether or not the Ducks will stick with Jason Fife or whether they'll go to Kellen Clemens after the punt.
Well, I don't know if that ball was tipped. If it was tipped, then there's no pass interference. But you see what happens when you get pressure to Derek Anderson. When you get pressure to Derek Anderson, he's not the same quarterback. And that's because he's young.
Keenan Howery back deep. And Carl Tobey, as the fans start to litter the field. Tobey back to punt the football, standing at his own 7-yard line. Ducks looking like they want to come after it. Here they come. And they don't get to it. This is a good punt. Howery at the 37. Makes one man miss, and now he's got to try to get the corner. He does. 50, 40, 30. Howery taking it to the 10, 5. Touchdown, Keenan Howery.
I'll tell you what, Joe, that's a playmaker. Making plays. Keenan Howery. Number 15. When you hit the ball in his hands, if he's a punt returner or he's a receiver.
Holding on the kicking team. Penalties decline. Touchdown is good.
Anything can happen at this point. That's why I said there's a lot of time left on this clock, Joe, for things to happen. And just right there, Keenan Howery tries to give Oregon a spark.
So the Ducks try to get it to within 14 with the extra point. After the Howery punt return, he does it 2 years in a row. Takes one to the end zone and a great block on the return. One man took out 2. We'll get another look at it here in a minute. As Howery gives Oregon a little bit of life.
And you know Keenan is happy because he's a senior. This is his last football game in an Oregon Duck uniform.
Jared Siegel's on for the point after touchdown to try and make it a 2-touchdown game. And the extra point is up and good, and it is 38-24 with 5:51 to go in the football game. Take another look at it. Howery from the outside, and there's the block by Stephen Clayton. 2 for 1, and Oregon has the slightest of chances. We're back after this.
Dehydration. It can't be predicted. invented. Nothing has been tested and proven to hydrate athletes better or faster. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Check the pullout section of Bi-Mart's latest bulletin and save on your favorite videos and DVDs. Enjoy classic movies on VHS and save. Choose from Westerns, Shirley Temple, or Marilyn Monroe favorites. They're all just $5.99 each. Give the critically acclaimed miniseries Band of Brothers on DVD. It's only $89.99. You can also save on the PBS documentary The Civil War. The DVD box set is just $99.99. Cash in on all the great savings sale prices in November 27th at your Northwest neighborhood Bi-Mart.
Welcome back here to Reser Stadium, everyone. No one's left this football game yet. 38-24, Oregon State has the lead. They are the favorite in this football game, and they've played like that today. Keenan Howery with the big play, and he did it 2 years in a row. Last year, it was Oregon on the winning side, Anthony, as he took one to the house as well.
Well, an NFL team is going to be glad to get Keenan Howery on their football team because he can put some points on their board anytime.
Beavers tried to make a comeback in that game, and Oregon had some late game turnovers and allowed Oregon State to come back, but they were able to run the ball late in the fourth quarter. Maurice Morris, the touchdown, and they won. So Oregon will try the onside kick with one timeout remaining. And there's the kick. It bounces high in the air, and the Beavers come down with it. That's what you want from your onside kick, though, to get that big bounce. Steven Jackson, who else?
Well, you put your best guys up in the front line, Steven Jackson, Newsom, guys who can handle the football. Steven did his job. Go up for the football. When the ball bounces, you got to go up and get it. And you know you're going to get hit when you go up in the air like that.
And if the Ducks could ever get in the position where they could just get the ball down 7, that would be a huge accomplishment. They're going to have to stop and get 3 and out. They'll have a long field here if they can do that. But the Beavers can get the knockout punch now deep in Oregon territory, starting at the 47. And Jackson takes the handoff, hit it, and he'll fall forward for a gain of about 3.
Well, now, Joe, you got a lot of pressure on this Oregon defense to stop a good Oregon State running game. And Derek Anderson's been playing well this whole football game. So they got Oregon's defense has some pressure. They're backed up a little bit. There's not a whole lot of time on the clock. They're going to have to come up with a big play.
Call it second down and about 7 yards. Beavers come to the line as we approach 5 minutes to go in the football game. Unbelievably long game. And Jackson is forward for another gain of a 2 or 3. Where it will be third down and about 5.
And I thought I was talking about the strength of Steven Jackson. That, you know, you got a couple of linebackers trying to take him down. And Steven's still not going down.
Once again, Ducks just with one timeout left. Pretty much have to save that for the next time, in case Oregon could somehow get the ball back, score, and then if the Beavers recover an onside kick, that's way ahead of the ball game, but Beavers going for the conversion here, a little pressure. Anderson going for the knockout punch. He's got it. Newsom, touchdown, Oregon State. This game is in the refrigerator. It is over, and the Beavers have the touchdown.
The Beavers feel confident in the receivers, and Newsom's been playing great all game.
And there's the pat down. Beavers like to do that pat down.
Great throw by Derek Anderson, throwing the ball in front of the receiver. The receiver has to run to the football. It's just a go route. Just a go route. Charles would just maybe a step 2 behind. Couldn't make the play because the ball is over his head.
And the extra point is up and good. And it's a 21-point lead once again. Going to a break. Beavers are in command. And this one just played it out from here on out until we find out where the Ducks might go for their bowl game and where the Beavers might go for their bowl game as well.
Today's game has been brought to you by Northwest Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can take life by the horns. Dodge. U.S. Bank, where 5-star service is guaranteed. Carl's Jr. for big, juicy, charbroiled burgers. The name of the game is Carl's Jr. State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. Uleno Credit Union. Discover the Uleno difference and get connected today. Emporium, your family department store where shopping never felt better. American Family Insurance. All your protection under one roof. Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light. And by Mart. Proud to be part of the Northwest and to be Northwest owned and operated.
Welcome back, everyone. James Newsom with the outstanding game. Another touchdown, and the Beavers are out to a 21-point lead. Give the Beavers credit for reviving a season, Anthony, that was headed down when they lost their first 3 Pac-10 games, and they got it back together. This is a good football team right now.
A real good football team. This team started out struggling in the Pac-10, came back, fought all the kinks out, and hey, great football ending right here.
Just a little squibber as they don't want the deep return for the Ducks. And bobbled in the back. Amundsen tries to break free. Makes one guy miss, but goes down to the 14-yard line.
But right now, the momentum is definitely with Oregon State. The fans are going crazy. The players are really hyped up. Now we're going to see probably a lot of young Oregon State football players in the game, as well as maybe some young Oregon offensive players, because the game is getting close to the point where it's almost out of reach.
Ducks going to stick with Jason Fife at quarterback. Don't forget to tune in, everyone, to Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti on Sunday in Eugene. That'll be at 5 o'clock on KEZI. Sammy Parker with the catch, little stutter step, and now he tries to turn on the Jets. Good game for Sammy Parker, and again, we've got extra activity on the sideline. Also in Portland on KWBP, Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti at 11 o'clock in the Portland area. We'll talk all about the Civil War game and look ahead to Oregon's bowl game, wherever that may be.
Right here, Joe, it was a slant pattern by Sammy Parker, and Parker did a great job of catching the ball between 2 defenders and getting downfield.
Fife back to throw it. Looking way downfield, and it is intercepted by Calvin Carlisle. And if the Beavers have any mercy, they will just run the ball and end this thing for the Oregon fans and the Oregon team and credit themselves with a Civil War victory. 3rd interception today for Jason Fife, and underthrown.
Yeah, it is underthrown. He's not really getting anything into it. He's kind of thrown off his back foot. You see Keenan Howard was coming back to make a play. Carlisle was underneath the play, so it was definitely underthrown. You know, that's just some time when you're getting a lot of pressure all day long and you're trying to get rid of the football too fast, the mechanics start to go out the window.
Jackson up the middle to the 30-yard line. There again, you see Ken Simonson working the media today. I don't think he wants to work in TV, Anthony. I think he just wants to be a cheerleader.
I think he wants to get out there and play. He misses that. You know, I think last year they lost in his senior season. He feels good that right now that Oregon State is going out victorious in this game, even though he's on the sideline as a spectator.
Very disappointing for Mike Bellotti to have his team end the year losing 5 of their last 6 football games.
Like I said earlier, the seniors on this football team are not used to that, and it's going to be hard to take when you sit back and look at what happened in the last 5, 6 football games.
Anderson will use as much of the clock as he can. Credit Derek Anderson for all the trouble he's been through as far as not playing well and having fans really chastise him, and a lot of folks calling for a change there. He hung in there And he played a heck of a football game today.
And he hung in there, but you have to give a lot of credit to that Oregon State offensive line by giving him protection that he needed. When you have a quarterback who can stand in that pocket and find the receivers and don't have to worry about defenders getting to him, he's going to be a good quarterback. Anderson is young. Sometimes they say he throws the ball in places that he doesn't need to throw it, but that's because he's young. As he gets older, he's going to be a great football player.
Likely to be a very good team again next year with Steven Jackson. I know Duck fans wish he'd just go to the NFL. He'd probably make a lot of money if he did.
On that offensive side of the ball, Joe, that whole offense comes back.
Ducks use a timeout. Not conceding anything yet, but does not look good for the green and the gold.
Hey, Yes Network fans, now sport a new look with Yes Gear from the home of champions. Shop online now at YesNetwork.com and gear up with t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, bags, ladies apparel, and much more. Whether it's at home or at the stadium, Yes Gear is the ultimate way to show your team spirit. Plus, these items make great gifts. Online ordering is easy with a major credit card. And don't forget to check for special discounts and giveaways. So log on now to YesNetwork.com and get your Yes Gear here. Last season, the New Jersey Nets won the Eastern Conference Championship, and that was only the beginning.
Catch it, slam!
This fall, the Nets make their run at the NBA title right here on Yes.
Rocks the rim!
Nothing but action, nothing but excitement, nothing but the biggest, the boldest, the brightest stars.
Jason Kidd on fire! That is gorgeous!
For the NBA's best this season, it's nothing but Nets.
Oh, this place is exploded!
Only on Yes, the home of champions.
Steven Jackson, a big day for him and a big day for the Oregon State Beavers. And again, as frustrating as the season has been for Oregon, there's not much you can do here, Anthony, other than just congratulate Oregon State. They're the better team, and they won today.
They are the better team today. They played good football. They played 4 quarters of good football. The offense played well. The defense played well. And the special teams, they're a little slacking a little bit, but they did enough to win the ball game.
And Oregon offensively, as they have a month now to start thinking about whatever bowl game they're going to go to. And I guess, do you go back to the drawing board, Anthony? Do you open up a quarterback situation? You know, you lost 5 of your last 6. Do you start from scratch?
No, I think you stay with Jason Pfeiffer when you go into the bowl game. I mean, he brought you to this point. You have to stay with him. You got to keep him confident that, you know, he's still a good football player. It's not just Jason Pfeiffer. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of time throwing that football today. I mean, there was a lot of pressure. When there's pressure on the quarterback, it makes it hard for a quarterback to sit back there and feel comfortable about throwing the football. And that's why his mechanics, they get a little rough on the ends, throwing the football off his back foot and things like that.
Ducks will finish 3-5 in the Pac-10, which will probably put them around 7th place, depending on what else happens around the conference. Now, there is a possibility that 7 teams will qualify for a bowl game, and the Pac-10 is only contracted for 6. It looks like there are other bowls that won't get teams qualified, though, so it looks like if Washington were to win today, all 7 teams would get to go to a bowl game. But it's not a for sure thing, Anthony. It is still possible this team would be left out of a bowl game.
It could happen.
Jackson will make it Dwight Wright in the football game now. Picks up a couple of yards, and Oregon with some of their starters and backups, Kai Smalley, and still having to push and shove a little bit.
Well, those are the second-string guys going in and pushing and shoving now. They're trying to get their 2 cents in, and they still feel like they want to feel confident and show something to the coaches that they're good football players and they're still involved.
Steven Jackson is one heck of a football player, and you can start talking about people that win the Heisman Trophy. He's every bit the candidate next year.
Oh, without a doubt. He's a good football player. He can do a lot out of the backfield and catch the football. He runs hard. He's a big running back. And it's tough to see. Sometimes you don't see big running backs that 6'2", 6'3", about 220 with the speed that he has and the quickness.
Dennis Erickson takes the headset off. He knows this one's in the bank.
You know, Joe, whatever bowl game Oregon goes to, they have to regroup and say to themselves, okay, this will be our last game. You know, we've struggled over the last 6 games, but let's end this game on a positive note.
Just moving under 2 minutes now as the Beavers run the ball and try and run the clock out in this game.
You know, Dennis Erickson and his staff feel really happy about this victory. Will be a victory here soon. From last year, they felt that they had a chance to win the football game and lost it to Keenan Howard's punt return. Now this is kind of a redemption here in Corvallis to win a big game like today.
This really helps Oregon State's momentum as they try to build on to their stadium, which anybody who's been there knows that it needs some refurbishing, and so do the people at Oregon State. So this will give them some momentum in raising money for that. They have to raise a lot. $100 million is a lot of dollars.
This also helps the recruiting, Joe, and in the recruiting battle between teams looking at whether going to Oregon State or Oregon. I mean, Oregon State wins the Civil War. Hey, let me go to Oregon State.
Seven painful seconds left for the Oregon fans. Anthony, you're talking about regrouping after taking the beatings that Oregon has in the last 6 weeks. How difficult is that to do?
It's very difficult. It's going to be a tough thing to do with Mike Bellotti and that Oregon football team, but you know, you got one more game to go to the bowl game. You got to try to regroup and still play this football game, you know, and give it all you can.
And the Beaver fans rush the field to celebrate their 4-4 season in the Pac-10 and their Civil War victory over the Oregon Ducks. As Dennis Erickson tries to get to Mike Bellotti, but I think he probably won't make it. As the fans have come on the field once again at Reser Stadium, where security is, well, Anthony's not been the best in the history of this rivalry, but the Beavers get the win. They're celebrating. Back to wrap it up after this.